All right, and we are live. Hello, everybody.
Hello! On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, I'm going to give you a Little Big Tengu pregame, because that'll probably be in like 4 days. That's it. That's literally the entire show. Oh, it's not the entire show, but you know what I mean. It's a lot. It's not a lot going on. Hi. I am one of your hosts, Omega. With me, as always, is Lucky. I feel like I had a joke yesterday, but then I was sleepy, and I forgot my joke.
I was very sleepy as well.
Yeah, so that's why we're here right now. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, well, Lucky, you've been busy and tired all throughout the week.
Yes.
And I've also, I don't know what's up with me, because I'm not like, you've been having to work stuff and having to get up early. I've just been really tired like this whole week, and I'm not sure why. You can trace it back to when I did the God of War stream at the start of the week solo. Like 2 hours into that, I'm like, whoa, hold on, chat. I'm fucking losing my juice here. I gotta go splash some water in my face or something.
Oh, Lordy, he dying.
Yeah, like, I don't know what it was. And I've just been pretty consistently kind of tired in the evening. I feel a little sluggish right now, but
I have to go.
I'm drinking plenty of water, and I'll live through doing the show, because it won't be that much effort. Though you guys did do a big old full bag of mail for us to look at later today. So, good on you.
Thank you.
But all right, before we get any further into the show, I have to do my part here and remind everybody this episode is brought to you by our lovely patrons, which includes Adam the Harper, Architect 10, Black G, Carlos, Dragon, Ferris, Flightless Iceberg, Jeremy Vasquez, Just the Fae, Jonathan Sandoval, Legendary Boss Hunter, Regent Raptor, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robyn, Trevor, Sean Pryor, Some Guy named Bob, Sergeant 23, and Varian the Crow. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon and get access to episodes early on so it really helps us out. Thank you for support, everybody.
Thank you. There they are. I need to pull out my fucking event-sees.
This is also why the several minutes of buffer time are good, because that way we can safely curse.
Yes.
It shouldn't be consistent, but as evidenced by the... So, we're going to faff a little bit today. It says so right in the video description. To let you know about unrelated channel news, because I've got a captive audience here. You were not kidding when you jumped into our Discord earlier today and shouted out, "I live." You have been living today, because you have been working on stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Not just, like, normal existing, but, like, actually doing extra work. So you've been slaving away at some old barrel trauma footage we have.
Yeah.
Because you've talked about this before. We've talked about this, that you've been recording several of our sessions and are going to clip them up into some stuff.
Yes.
So you posted, like, a really good little clip, and I was like, this clip is good. And I managed to convert it into something resembling a YouTube short. It's not perfect. We learned a lot in that process. If I do that again, it'll be better.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got like a couple of versions and stuff we can still play around with. But I am like 90% certain that video will not be able to be fully monetized, despite the fact that I did just agree to YouTube's shiny new shorts monetization policy. Because I think I dropped like 2 fucks and a definite goddamn in there, like right out of the way. It's a 30-second clip. Now, in the context of barotrauma, it makes sense, because you'll see it if I post it publicly, which I probably will just to get it out there. But in the context of a short, there's a lot of cussing. It's probably not super monetizable, but, you know, we're working.
We're working on it.
Yes, I have seen the comments about, well, I think I've seen both things. You're talking about Legendary. People are tweeting about the fact that YouTube is talking about possible chargebacks or refunds for videos that end up demonetized.
Oof. I didn't
know
about that.
Yeah, it's just been percolating today. I assume the idea is basically, I mean, fundamentally, it's something like, hey, if you post, you know, some sort of horrible hate speech video, but you've got monetization prior to this, and you make, you know, money off the first 30 seconds before somebody notices, because everything is run by robots, YouTube doesn't want to pay you that check and may want to take that money back if it gets added to your account. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with YouTube. I don't think it's necessarily the best service, but it is the service for a lot of video content out there. And, like, honestly, as much as, like, I know, you know, some people think about, oh, you know, you could do streaming through Twitch and stuff. I don't know about that either. Twitch has a lot of its own problems, right? and their revenue sharing is definitely worse. But YouTube is also very slow about stuff. I don't know, I don't know if people who are larger channels get more preferential treatment, but Google doesn't cut me a check for a month of YouTube revenue until the 20th day of the next month. So I don't really know where the chargeback risk comes in, because it's a very slow process. And like I said, it's still not great of them to be putting these in their terms of service, but I don't know when and where it would actually come up where they're physically going to slurp money out of your account, because the amount that they're talking about isn't going to, how will it get to you? It's really weird. The other thing is just they've added an alternative. Some people in our Discord were trying to make this sound like a net bad thing, but it is not. They added an alternative way to get YouTube partnership, which is you can get 10 million total views on Shorts.
That's a lot of views.
Now, that seems like a lot of views on Shorts, but I'm assuming this is because the other thing is get 4,000 public watch hours, which is how we got partnered up. Not very hard at all for you guys. Thanks for that.
Very much. Thank you.
Because we get oodles of watch hours because we're primarily a stream and a podcast channel. If you're nothing but a short channel, 4,000 hours doesn't work for you. So, especially with YouTube pushing shorts to be viewed more and developing their monetization for shorts, it makes sense that they're going to ask you. 10 mil is probably a lot, but if you're a dedicated shorts creator, that might not be. I don't know. It's weird. We're going to start playing around with shorts probably and see how that works out for us. I do think that, as much as YouTube's terms of service have been very weird since the start of this year, they've been doing something with the algorithm. I don't know, Lucky, if you saw me tweet. Actually, no, it was last night. You probably didn't. I think that was after you said, I'm sleepy, I'm going to go die.
Yes.
I looked at our, 48-hour real-time analytics, and there's, a couple dozens even of views on some weird old-ass videos. One of our What's Ups from, 2021 got, 20 views in the last 48 hours from Friday. And I'm like, why? What? And I think it's just because I've heard other channels talking about this with, old streams and other really long videos. I think YouTube is, percolating some different stuff. Maybe they're actually, separating out searching between long form and short content. So we'll see. It's weird. But yeah, the shorts thing is not that problematic. It seems like a lot, but like I said, I'm assuming they're budgeting it so that if you're making money off shorts, you're actually getting enough shorts watched to get in there. And it may be entirely possible that there's going to be a lots more shorts creators on YouTube in the not too distant future, as I do not know if TikTok is going to last very long in this country. It was already banned by bipartisan effort from all government issued phones, so I don't know if that's gonna survive too much longer. It's one of the 5 things everybody in the United States government can agree about, which is saying something.
I'm gonna be real. I've never been much of a TikTok kind of person, but I've never been really into quickly digestible social media.
Yeah, Vines are funny. But I watched a lot of Vines and compilations and edits as well. Sometimes short Twitter videos can be funny, but usually that's in the context of I'm already following you on Twitter. But I don't really get the TikTok. But Lucky, we're old.
We are old.
So I don't know. We're gonna. I do actually watch a decent number of YouTube shorts, but it's mostly news stuff because it's just here's a 60-second news story. But all right, okay, we've talked your ear off. We're about 10 minutes into the recording. We can actually buckle down. You got your Patreon alert. Lucky, did you read the intro?
I did not read the intro. Do I even need to read the intro?
I mean, you don't need to, but you got some jokes in there. You might as well.
All right, fine. So, intro time. Everyone, I hope you're all enjoying Fate Grand Order, a.k.a. the last galaxy in town. And while we here at Studio Mega like to bring you the latest and FGL-rated news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EA version of the game, so anyone want spoilers should go train like a Tengu. Actually, no, it's good that I get that out there, because that's where we put our, our spoiler warning in. That's important.
Yeah.
That's important.
And we do have a pregame, so there may be some aside spoilers in there.
All right, let's see how
now, unfortunately, if you're looking for other regularly scheduled Let's Talk FGO content, it's a little skinny for a little bit. In the pro tips, I just wrote, it's cold. I don't have anything. I don't have any pro tips for this week. It's 45 degrees right now. I am sitting by my backup lamplight because I don't want to fuck with turning off my ceiling fan but leaving my ceiling fan light on. It involves a lot of, pull cables.
Am I gonna fucking galactify this fucking punk? Yes. Yes, I am.
Eat him into space. But we're already in space. Eat him into space too. Hey, if space is so cool, why isn't there space too? But it's cold. It's dark. I don't have any pro tips. I'm just doing stuff.
Space has no pro tips.
There's no records because I haven't done anything. I've been really trying to get that 5th NP on my Calamity Jane. It is not going anywhere.
Oh, don't even look at me. Mine's actually in Not All the World's Evil because I have done literally fucking nothing in FGO this entire week. As evidenced by the fact that I'm literally doing the opening fight to Saber Wars 2 right the fuck now.
Hey, whatever works. The content. But yeah, I've actually, I have occasionally been doing some of the story content. Not a lot, but I'll, spend my AP or get to a time lock or something. I'm not done with the event by any means, which is probably pretty bad for a rerun. But, I have at least poked it, so that's why I didn't, be, ditto on there.
Like I said, I think I was pretty bummed out about me missing the 20, 30 million, or it wasn't million, it was the 20 million.
20 million and 300,000. It was a lot of people.
And the CE. That bummed me out. Lucky doesn't like missing stuff. I really don't.
It's true. And after, and then once you compound that with after you miss that, there's not really anything going on. There's no reason to log into FGO. Obviously, you can do the rerun, and there's some stuff there. There's a handful of mana prisms, and there's some mats and stuff in there that are nice. But it's a rerun. There's not a lot going on there. Yeah, it's not even like there's a welfare to farm for easy rare prisms.
Now, I'm mostly here just to grab what I can and run away before we actually get to our actual next event.
Sounds about right. There are some QP and some of the bounty quests you can do. But yeah, so let's ask everybody real quick. Did you finish your master missions? So to complete this week's master missions, you need to do 30 FP summons, defeat 5 servants, defeat 10 servants, and then defeat 15 each of enemies with the dragon, undead, and wild beast trait. Now, it may not appear that this is telling you to do the event, but actually this is telling you to do the event. As there are servants in almost every quest you can do that's a free quest. I think it's almost all of them are, not to mention story mode and stuff. But also you should find dragons, undead, and wild beasts in this event as well, in the just general mobs you've got to deal with. If you didn't do that, for instance, you speed ran the entire event and you got it done already by the start of this week somehow, which I'm not even sure you can do, though you might get past some of the farming you need to do at least.
I'm an idiot.
You can wrap this up very easy by just going back to Orleans, do Thiers and Jura Forest for dragons and wild beast, and if you want to get those undead, just go back to old Fuyuki. That may have mean you missed some farmings. Or was it maybe there's not undead in the event. Anyway, it's like, do the event, you'll get most of them done, and then the rest you're just going to get in there.
I don't think I'm... Well, actually, no. If I try... Yeah, because I'm just using the 50%. If I use Halloween Princess, that might be loopable.
I've not had a lot of luck looping this event, but I think that's because there's some Berserkers in here. Yep, Fuyuki XF never lets you down. You need servants. You need any kind of servants, because I think it's got, goods, evils, and neutrals in there. You need undeads. XF. It's good for you. It's got the stuff kids crave. But yeah, so that's master missions. Now it's time to talk about skelograms. There is a plural skelegram here, technically. So first of all, in JP, it was announced, starting the 11th of January, going until the 31st of January, Nahui Miklan Part 2 pre-release campaign. So we're already in the pre-release campaign. While this doesn't end until the 31st, I assume that means that the Lost Belt is probably coming sooner rather than later. Just because, they probably don't want to linger on the pre-release too long. It's not really that important. Anyway, you can log in for a number of days to get some EXPs and some Saint Quartzes. There are also extra master missions for main story clearance to get even more EXPs and Saint Quartzes. You've got half AP story up to Lost Belt 6, half AP Treasure Vault, so QP dailies, and also half AP on rank up quests and interludes. You also get double suck chance for every servant, and there is a Nemo and Nito banner. So, yes, Lasenga would really like you to catch up on story if you aren't, and strengthen your servants. So you better be leveling up guys and clearing all your backlog. So yeah, like I said, I would assume, based on the framing of this probably means that, like I said, the Lost Belt 7 Part 2 drop will be sooner rather than later. We'll see how that all works out. I don't know if there's really anything going on at all. The primary thing I've seen is just that for the moment, our JP spoiler channel has mostly turned into art dump but with spoilers.
Listen, I even had to post one in there.
There's quite a lot going on. But yes, it's this. Everybody seems to have fully dissected the event, and now we just post characters who are in the new Lost Belt in there, like it was art dump. Nobody's complained to me yet, so it's fine. All right, but yeah, like I said, that probably means that like if I had to be, really bold, I'd probably say around the 17th or 18th. The 18th is a Wednesday. They do a lot of Wednesday launches, right?
Yeah.
And that's after the 15th mark, so that's late January. I might be so bold as to say the 18th could be the Part 2 drop, which presumably will actually start coming with banners with new servants. We'll see. Probably be crazy. But we'll see how it works out. And in NA over here, we do have Saber Wars Pick Up Summon 2. That goes from the 11th until the 25th, like we said. It's happening right now. It's the MHX and Mooninari one, like you'd expect from this setup. So there. Still got event CEs and stuff. And Mooninari did get his rank up. I mean, if it's the 31st and there's no other event in the way, which I don't think there is because they did the pre-release, that would be very bad.
Well, yeah, no, you got to remember, Valentine's is... oh, God, I hope Valentine's is still in the fucking cards.
I mean, it should be. That's not really a high-effort event. It's just... well, and honestly, talking about this, making sure they need to record lines for everybody. Everybody who would be involved in a Valentine's will, have been in the booth, so... That'll have been done like 6 months ago. So yeah, it's just should still be going. And Valentine's is fairly early in February.
Yeah. So I think it's probably going to be somewhere in the 21st to 25th range, personally, because they're going to want to at least give it a week or two just to percolate before they actually go into any other
yeah.
into anything. So
not to mention there's still no. There was no brand new Christmas, but there was a Christmas rerun.
Right? But previously
they still
unrun.
did the Santa Carnis rerun.
Yeah.
Which was not previously released. So that's obviously, different. And mechanically, while there was no welfare, the Chaldea Night Cup was a lotto event that they did do. So there's still you got some of your mechanical Christmas action in there, and then they did actually rerun a little Christmas event. So,
I missed the art.
I don't see why they would cut Valentine's, because that's first of all, we've seen, especially with speaking of Chaldea Night Cup, we've seen that Lasenga not afraid of banners. They'll totally give you reruns. They're all about them rerun banners. Now, admittedly, I feel like there's been a lot going on lately with not actually implementing new servants. It sounds like they're kind of building up a backlog to roll out over banners that we're about to see, right? But fundamentally, adding Valentine CEs and recording voice lines for scenes is not really that complex, and it's a pretty big marketing deal. I think that's usually right up there with New Year's and Summers and anniversaries.
I only got 6% more out of that son of a bitch.
Oof. Well, there's 4 guys, so you'd have a weird turn anyway.
True, but still, I'm just like...
But yeah, so I'm interested to see exactly how that shakes out. I don't think they're gonna wait the whole month. I know some people are like worried about that, but that doesn't seem like that's gonna be very good. Yeah, bum marketing. But yeah, Saber Wars 2. Obviously, the actual Saber Wars event ends. I know it's soon, but I would like to double check the date. Please take me to the news.
I believe it says like 4 days, so...
Lights ends the 18th at, so for most places in the world, the 19th, technically. Yeah, so I'm going to say probably, like, that weekend's going to be Little Big Tengu. It is possible, hypothetically, that it would not be occurring by the 20th. But, when we record and release, the thing could still be out. So it's in my list of stuff to do.
All right, disregard looping, maximize damage bonus. That's how we going.
It do be like that sometimes. But that is all of the news. That means it's probably about time for the bag of mail. But I'm going to take a pause on the audio real quick.
All right.
I'll be right back.
He will be right back. I will stay right here.
Yeah, I'm just going to pause the audio version recording. Available to patrons, $1 and up level. I need all levels of patrons get audios. In case you can't tell, by the way, from my way I sounded, I'm talking into my bottle of water I'm finishing, which is why I have to go. So I will be right back.
Yeah, beating up dudes. Beating up a lot of dudes. Jesus. Okay, missions, calm down. Stop unlocking! Alright, what's finished? Ooh, steaks. Thank you. Alright, moving on. Nah, Lucky woke up this morning and chose action. I've been basically plugging away at Vegas. Working on the borrowed trauma footage. It's kind of funny. I don't know if I want to say it's really funny. But I hope you guys will look forward to it. It's going to take me a while to get through. I think I've only gotten through like 30 minutes of the first 4-hour segment, and I got like a minute and a half of content out of there. And I still got to like lay down like text and, other fun effects. And honestly, it might be even more because watching me and the boys play Barrow Trauma makes me want to play more Barrow Trauma. Funny how that fucking works, right? Alright, skip. Skip gang. Yes, Editor Lucky 2. Edit Lucky's Revengeance. Alright, let's see here. Alright, so disregard loops. Acquire max damage. Well, Tomicat's doing the good work, so let's make sure that, let's see here. Which one is that? That one is 200%. So we'll go there.
Listen, I would say editing's your enemy. It's part of the process. Sometimes it's a frustrating part of the process. Editing audio for the podcast, for instance, is not necessarily fun, but it hopefully helps us sound better because I remove a lot of stuff.
There we go.
And also long, awkward pauses. Anyway, I am unpausing the audio. We're back. Lucky has been figuring out damage bonus.
More damage, more bonus.
Yeah. That's why you gotta make sure you set up double speed, everybody. Make sure you're caught up. All 40 of you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Where's Calamity? There she is.
Once Lucky is done pushing buttons, we will move on to mailbag. But for now, we'll just keep blarbling. Yeah, backer Saber for whatchamacallit, Ultream? I don't even heckin' remember this event.
I'm not gonna
make
worry
sure to
about it
tweet
right
about go watch the one at Space Star I did. which you guys should go do if you haven't, just because you get to watch me slowly lose my mind. It's one of those colored string episodes.
All right, I was able to fit everything I want in there. Let's see here. I got 6. I could put like a cheap Saber in there, but do I want to? Let's see here. Where's my Jason? Jason would fit back there. Jason! That is not Jason.
Jason.
There you are. All right, you just chill back there.
Oh, I can't even change. Wait, let me make sure.
Oh, wait, no, it's not just... No, nah, that's... Actually, no, I don't care. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, it has to be actual Arturia. Which I definitely do not have the space for, so fuck it. Where's my Kohai? There we go. Alright, let's go.
Go gadget. Grind.
Alright, so let us start with this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. Despite me posting this like 4 hours before we would normally record, and a little bit extra time of that, you guys have trucked in a whopping 16 submissions. Thank you very much, but also, what the fuck? How does this work?
Lucky, are you sure about that number?
Oh, you animals. 19. We're at 19 now.
It grew since I was checking. When I said that number, it was 18, and then I also refreshed.
You guys are animals.
Savages, all of you.
Animal savages.
Mailbag savage.
Animages. Savanimals.
Savage animal idiots. Just supposed to got him in chat. Yeah, you got us. Right.
All right, but let us get started. Let me get a turn going here. Actually, you know, we'll make it go slow so we can enjoy some animation. Ooh, we can just go burr with Tommy Cat. Let's fucking do that. This first one comes from the Tyrant King, finally collecting the DXD light novels after 11 years since he saw the anime. Wait a minute, why is my Tamamo in her kimono? Oh, did I do random? Did I do random? I might have. Who knows?
You could have randomized. Who knows?
But they say, question, hey, with LB7 Part 2 presumably starting next week, do you guys think we'll get our usually story chapter before anniversary? Or would you still count this as the winter update for last year? Anyway, that's it for me. Sending good vibes your way, and hope you have a great weekend.
I mean, that's going to depend, I think, on how LB7 ends. If it's ending with Part 2 also. I think it is, but I don't know. But yeah, it's going to depend on how it ends and, like, where the story's supposed to go from there, because we're assuming that the story does indeed need to still go places. That seems to be the vibe. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, ideally, I think this is technically last year's, like, winter story block, so there should probably be something in the middle of the year, but I don't know what that will be at all. Right? So we'll see, I guess.
Oof! Okay.
Zerks be like that.
She gave no fucks.
Zerks be nimble, Zerks be quick. Zerks snuffed out like a candlestick.
Ah, I didn't mean to hit that button! Whatever. I'll make it work.
I mean, it doesn't matter, you just got one enemy.
But unfortunately, I don't have anything necessarily else to add on that, because I'm not, like, meh. Oh, sorry, I was just checking Discord real quick. I just saw Mega Alter asked to get back in the Chrome Mafia, so I'll have to send him an invite at some point.
He has been playing. I think he cleared Heavensward the other day with Axe.
Yeah, hang on, let me, oh, hang on, I gotta write him a message here real quick.
Our 14 circle grows/regrows.
But this next one comes from Brain Drain Butterfly, who says, salutations, thanks again for all the content, special mention to Omega's, Fan Servant Friday. For the interesting fast sphere to ponder and compare to, and Lucky's recent discussion on books and shows in Discord that arrested my attention, catching up on the chatter. Good vibes. Whoa. To the both of you, I'm off to work. Listen, Lucky.
Have a pleasant time at work. Told him to have a pleasant time at work.
Oh yeah, this was like 33 minutes ago, so he's probably off. So yeah, no, have a good time at work. Yeah, no. Once in a while, Lucky will go off on a fucking tangent, and yeah, apparently people had some thoughts.
Look at this. It happens.
It happens. But moving on, this next one comes from, it takes me forever to figure out an alias. Listen, naming is hard sometimes. Names are hard.
It's true. I devote so much brain power of writing tabletop stuff to just giving people names.
Name generators are a blessing. But they say, hey guys, hope your week went well. Sending good vibes. Wah. After looking into the upcoming Buster meta, it appears that it's very costly that you need to get a Koyan, Oberon, and multiple MP levels of your DPS of choice. For I understand this meta is good at farming irregular 90++ nodes, but my question is, do you think it's really worth it? Thanks, and I just wanted to say that I always look forward to your show. Well, thank you very much for the compliments. And the quick answer to your question is no, but yes. Like, to me, no, it's not worth it. I rep like arts meta like all day, every day. Do I have some investment in the Buster meta? Yeah, I have a Merlin. I have a Jalter. Sometimes I like to go to town. Like sometimes I like to blow shit up with Ishtar. But more often than not, I'm gonna be throwing out those blue cards like they're fucking candy, and people are gonna hate it.
Well, and also, to talk about the future Buster meta, you're going to be invested in the Koyans.
Yes. I will be investing in the Koyans, but like I said, I'm not investing in the Koyans for the Buster meta. I am investing in because of Fox Rabbit.
True facts. So yeah, I will mostly agree with Lucky there. Like, I just so happen to have lucked into setups that are good for the arts meta. I rolled for, like, Small Da Vinci and, Musashi Summer for personal reasons, and Castoria just because that was the anniversary banner. What you gonna do? Am I gonna skip an anniversary servant? I actually don't think I have. I don't always have good luck, but I don't think I've skipped rolling. So not that I've necessarily gotten all of them. Still no Sherlock. Cry. But yeah, I don't. It really depends on, like, your level of investment and how high speed, low drag you want to go. If you're the kind of person who does get kind of annoyed that you can't completely smooth brand 90++ nodes that are like 212 or 331 or other weird shit, the investment may be worth it to you. If you're just a casual player who is looking at people talking about, like, this meta, listen. The thing you need to know about metagaming is this is a PvE game. It's completely meaningless. It doesn't actually mean anything. Everything is about, like, your level of access to units and what you feel comfortable doing and what you feel comfortable spending money on. Honestly, competitive games are like that too. You have different levels of metatextual stuff. But I know that from experience with myself and with people in the audience, we have some people who, play the Yu-Gi-Oh! In the audience. You guys, understand then, if you're playing them, that, like, there's a difference between building, like, a meta deck, a high-level meta deck, a playable deck, and just something I can play with my friends at the kitchen table. Like, the thing is that FGO, there's no equivalent of regionals or world championship qualifiers. There's just you playing FGO by yourself. I mean, I guess there's an extra meta level of, like, what's happening right now. You could stream FGO to people, and they could attempt to judge you for your choices. But you know what also works for that? Just choose not to be judged. Try and judge Lucky for his choices right now. See what happens. As I I load the gun and place it in their hands, and I tell them, try it. See what happens. Fuck around and find out. But yeah, no, like, you don't really have to be beholden to the meta. I mean, some people might get fussy at you if you're not playing optimally. And if you yourself go, oh shit, I bet I could play more optimally, I should do that, and you don't, that's on you, right?
I don't care. People who want to play optimally tell you to put your fucking cast story in a certain ascension so they can go that much faster when they use it in their comp, so I don't give a fuck.
1 second.
So I don't
Really
fucking care.
matter.
I really don't fucking care.
No, I'm not that, like, no, I mean, we're at where we're at, y'all. It's just, there's anything you gain out of this, I should say, for the 90++ nodes and the buster meta and stuff like that, that's on you for you to gain out of it. If you feel like you're going to roll for those units anyway and you want to do good, do it. Go for it.
Live your best life.
And if you're like, wow, it seems really expensive to get into this meta for units I'm maybe not super excited for, then don't. I would argue that presumably the weird shit like 212 and other irregular 90++ nodes and super high levels of HP are so that you do not 3-turn them. As much as we want to, if you want to complain about whether or not that's good game design, the point of those nodes is presumably so that you, I don't know, don't 3-turn smooth brand them with arts. And if that's the point, then that's the point. Get around it or don't farm those nodes. And that's what we got to say about that.
That's about that. So I can unlock mission 12. Let me check what that is. Alright. So that is that. Also, when it comes to DPS, I think I'm pretty good. Like, I have an MP3 like Raiko. I got like MP5 Arturia and Mordred. I think I have like an MP2 King Protea. No, I'm good on busting
honestly, I've never had problems with DPS. I have a fucking level 100 10 Space Ishtar, for instance. Like, and I have NP2 Saber Musashi. Like, stuff works. We can make it work.
We can make it work. We can fix it. Or break it.
Not to mention, how many freaking events give you plus 100% damage?
Dablage.
Even if it's only for a limited time, that's still usually what it matters is when you're farming time-limited events.
Sorry, Lucky's thinking.
Thinking brain thoughts.
I'm slightly offended that fucking, cowboy-ass Summer Musashi is not a bonus unit here. That'd be really great right about now.
Did she exist when the original Saber Wars 2 came out? Not that that's always a barrier. They do sometimes patch back in units, but I'm trying to remember when the first Saber Wars 2 run was. I do wish they would be better about adding more units to reruns all the time, but I guess they got out of the frame of doing reruns a lot, so...
If I double cast story, I could probably pull this off, but I don't like... Using other people's support class as a linchpin to my strategy, goes against my entire core.
It's a little awkward. Is there any alternative to... Because the main thing about double Castoria is you get shitloads of NP gain.
Yeah.
And because it's definitely 100%. You can probably do that with your own waiver. Then you don't get the NP gain up, but you do get damage up. Attack up, damage plus.
Well, let's just attack things for right now, and I'll think about it later.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to change this since I'm not necessarily running that. Let's work on leveling that. Starto. Tanikaku, we move on. This next one comes from Hassan of the Common Cold. They say, hey, Lucky and Omega, hope you're doing well, but down for almost a week with the flu, and I hate it. Wishing you the bestest of health and good vibes. Wah, 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 wah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're sick. That's probably why your question's literally only 3 lines for once. But I hope you get well now. And hope you have something more wordy for us next week.
Also, a reminder, influenza and the common cold are different.
moving on. This next one comes from who gave Tristan buff removal? Angerface. But they say, question, howdy Lucky and Omega, hope you're all having a good week. My question this week is, who do you think will qualify as a grand servant in the classes we have not already seen in game? Obviously, we already know from story that the qualification is limited to one servant, so if you can think of multiples of any class, I'd be interested in hearing all those opinions. Well, I know, all those opinions? They put a question mark into that. They are not sure about it.
I mean, this is a tricky one. I'm trying to, not counting for future content, which I don't even know. What classes don't we know? That's probably rough to speculate on.
Well, we know Noah is Ryder. We know,
or at least Noah was Ryder in the arcade continuity.
Well, I mean, like if he's a candidate, he's a candidate. I want to say.
True, he is a candidate. We presume that he is still Grand Ryder, probably. And again, they could bamboozle us and switch back. I think Berserker is open. Saber is open. Saber's really weird, though, because, like, I feel like it has to be either Artoria or Musashi. But also, those are, like, really obvious.
I mean, I'm still down with Saber Raiko.
That could be definitely a unique take. And I have foreshadowed that one a little. But, yeah, I don't know much about that.
Like, again, I don't know. You don't necessarily know the rule of the grands, which is always the thing that gets me, because there's apparently supposed to be quote-unquote rules that, you know, will be quote-unquote broken, so achievements here stuff. So it's like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, and every class seems to have a specific qualification. Well, we don't know that part. And if you say, yes, we do, then you're going to eat a timeout. So think about what you're saying right now very carefully. I guess it's been a couple of weeks, so I don't know to trust translations or not, but...
Yeah, but you shouldn't be bringing up new Lost Belt stuff here anyway. Have we played Lost Belt 7? No. Then shut up.
Yeah. Have you played Lost Belt 7? If you have, you should know better and should shush. Well, if I was... Oh, yeah. Let's see. Lost Belt 5, which is current content and has been for like a year.
Yeah, caster has to be some sort of clairvoyance.
Yes. It seems to be what made Orion Grand Archer in LB5 Part 1 was his... not his ability to shoot space, but his animal hunting abilities for reasons. I don't know if we ever got into why RQ might have been Grand Lancer. Other than that, he's just really big and cool.
I mean, there's a lot of people that want to be, you know, the big, bad, cool Grand, but...
We should also present... We know the qualifications for caster. We don't technically have a Grand Caster right now. The previous Grand Caster retired, and as much as Merlin says that he's totally Grand Caster. Yeah, Grands are weird. I don't know. We could probably talk about this topic for either, 60 seconds or 5 hours.
I'm not keen on either of those, by the way. Oh, Merlin probably can't be a Grand Caster because he's technically not dead yet.
Yes, probably true. Merlin likes to say he's Grand Caster, but he not really.
Yeah, the only reason we technically can summon him as a servant is because we basically used loophole fuckery.
Mm-hmm.
We summoned from a point where technically he was not alive, which was basically before the Matter of Britain.
And then also we got around some things with the incineration of humanity. That's how we can summon Skok, for instance, because she's supposed to be immortal.
Yeah.
But when Yeti incinerated humanity that first time, everybody died. So technically she has to be counted for that somewhere because he burnt up all the texture.
See what I'm talking
and
about? Talking about is like
counts.
We have the rules, but then we're going to break the rules just so we can have a person. It's literally this
basically.
right now.
lore-wise, Skahak is immortal, so she definitely can't be summoned because she's not dead, except we wrote the story so that everybody forever is definitely dead, and then we fixed that, but then we killed everybody again. Just weird.
Oh, definitely. Remind me, I got to get some Deathloop thoughts out at in our free talk segment.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah, no, like, because the show's probably going to be a little shorter today, we're definitely going to mix in some What's Up topics later today, so hold on.
You know, just faff some stuff around and buy some more time.
Faff.
We don't really have that much of a backgraph.
We really don't.
Okay, but there was some number of minutes on Grant.
a number. But we move on. This next one comes from EOS? IAS? IAS? How do you pronounce that? IAS. I'm going to go IAS. EOS. No, EOS. EOS. Now, this next one comes from EOS, the one who sought to perfect MHX. Question. Since we know that LB is essentially simulated textures of prune timelines created by the Tree of Fantasy, could it really be said that we are killing the inhabitants when we destroy their tree?
Yeah.
Technically,
I mean, it sure feels like it.
I mean, well, they have a second half here, so let me get through that real quick, and then
Yeah.
we can debate. Side note, so happy it took me a total of just around 1k total Saint Quartz to MP5 MHX from the 0 copies I have. Due to the shortage of current and future grails, I won't be going to level 120 with her, otherwise I would try to MP6 her. We'll just have to do that. We'll have to do with just 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, MP5 at the moment. Sincerely, EOS, the one broken mats. Well, good job on your MXX. It seems like it wasn't too harsh. I mean, I think I've gone like almost 1,000 quartz and only gotten like 1 copy of a servant I wanted, so yeah. But when you come up to that, I guess it comes into your question of who and what is alive, what counts as alive and what counts as doesn't. It's definitely one of those, it's a questions of ethics and morality more than anything. Because even if these people did not exist in the original timeline, they are someone who exists now, and due to your actions, they will no longer exist.
And I definitely think there's something to be said for the mechanics there. Like, yes, we figured out that technically the Lost Belts are, like, simulated to reach the present day inside of the tree. But they are also outside of the tree because we can fucking walk around in them, and they're, like, expanding. So, even if we did simulate previous time periods, I assume that we can say that for certain values of real, all those people and those places we meet and see in the Lost Belt are real, because, I mean, you're just getting into some deep philosophical shit if you're like, okay, but you're not really real, even though I can touch you and see you and possibly get murdered by you.
Yeah.
So it's definitely one of those things, like, there are deep philosophical and ontological arguments to have. Those arguments are really fancy pants and very highbrow, and are unfortunately undone by the simple fact that, you know, if it's not real, how can we touch it? Can you touch something that's not real? And I don't want to go any further than that. Somebody will want to debate that point, and after that level, I'm too sleepy for that. We've been managing to be live for like 50 minutes.
Nice.
Gonna lose my goob. Especially considering we may want to do some barotrauma. Not to rush anybody.
We're not gonna rush too much, but we're gonna keep going
We have
here.
fun here.
So, moving on. This next one comes from the procrastinator, just giddy making the deadlines. That means very close. Hey, Lucky and Manga, do you prefer when FGO adds completely new characters as servants, or when they make existing servants into alters or different classes to play up a different part of their lore personality? I mean, yes.
Usually new characters.
I mean, I'm for both, like, equally, like, honestly. I like new characters, and I like seeing old characters in new ways. Like, this is how we got fucking Summer Ibuki Dragon Cheerleader. I'm like, yes, no, this is excellent. Just give me more of that. You know, Summer Kama, it's like, yes, excellent. Alters are just usually fun in general. Look at all the Sabers we have. I mean, not Sabers, Artorias.
It's true. There's a lot of them. It's a mem.
Yeah, so no, but, you know, it's just as cool, like, when new characters come out. Like, every time we get a new servant, like, I'm Lucky immediately goes on a lore dive to see what I remember and what new things there are to learn.
It's true. Both are pretty cool. I think, overall, I would probably go for, just to be on the safe side, new, because that's always new content.
Mm-hmm.
Summers are fun, but they're not always really that new. They've been doing better though. Like in general, I feel like FGO had some limited or lazy like repaints back in the day, like early on when they were kind of newer to this, but it's definitely expanded a lot over time into being more. Actually, like seriously, what the hell is Nero versus Nero Bride? One of them's limited, one of them's story locked. I don't really know what they're going for there.
Draco.
I guess we just didn't invent costumes yet, and we really wanted to use the bride outfit. Why don't you check if we can get more emotes? We probably have more slots.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess they wanted the ST one, even though her Noble Phantasm is mostly the same. It's weird. Yes, thank you, Mr. Dennis Cordell. Bride is Nero in the bride dress. You are technically correct. But yeah, since then, we've come a long way in making different versions of characters matter more. To the point where, even if I don't understand what the fuck is happening between Koyanskaya of Light and Dark, they are both very different units and also seem to be doing different things. Also, they have mostly all different ascensions, so you get all kinds of nonsense.
I love nonsense.
Nonsense is the best sense.
Oh yeah, no, my Tomicat's definitely on random ascensions now, as she's now in her maid outfit. Okay.
Hey, it happens. That's how I run my Seishonagon. When the collab comes, you can lock her into her roller skate idol outfit.
So,
do we count costumes in random ascensions, or do you have to set it up specifically? That would be a fun feature. Quality of life there. Lisangle, if you're listening. Especially since some servants do have multiple costumes now. Randomization, it's funny. Anyway,
let us go on. So this one came from... It finally happened. Ooh, whoa. I'm not entirely sure what this... Whoa. I'm not entirely sure what the sound's supposed to be. It's like, it's ooh, and then it's W-O-H. I'm like, whoa.
I'm assuming from context clues it should be slightly annoyed.
But they say, it finally happened. I'm slightly mad. Hey guys, I hope the new year has been going well so far. For me, it's off to a cursed start. I played NA since its launch. My first SSR was Vlad during the first GSSR. Since then, I've been spooked by him by 3 more GSSRs and once at random. He is one of the half-dozen 5-star servants I have MP5, but I have never gotten a Nuso. Until now.
Lucky, it's your clone.
No. They have gone beyond me. Until now, I have never rolled for Arteria Saber on purpose, and my first copy came in year 3. But when rolling for Muramasa, he spooked me twice. I now have 2 USOs. My question is this. What do you think your first USO will come from? Lucky rolling for the 6th copy of Tomos to get her last pen skill? Or maybe Kama? Or a spook? I hope if you do, you get one, it's on purpose. Wishing you all the best in 2023. Same to you. You had a cursed start, but that means it can only get better.
Listen, if I learned anything from the Final Fantasy XIV New Year's event, it's that you got to take your fortune and reverse it. I have absolutely no idea where my first USO would come from, and this person seems to agree since they mostly brought up lucky circumstances.
Well, I got a lot of MP5 servants.
It's true.
I mean, MP5 like SSRs, I should say. Well, not a lot. I think I got probably a half a dozen like this person does.
I believe that for you, Vlad and Artoria are on that list, though.
Yes. Off the top of my head, I have Artoria, Mordred, Arjuna, Waver, Tamamo, Vlad, John, and Drake, I believe. I believe that's all of them. But yes, I have many. Oh, Omega Alter gave me his in-game name. I'll probably do that in a little bit. Add more to the Crow Mafia. But let's see here.
Glam power grows, Caw.
Caw! That was the wrong one. Which one gives the fucking invincibility? Confirm skill
Sorry,
use.
Chad. If you ever hear me zone out and possibly hear me tapping, it's just because I'm just bobbing my head to the Hades soundtrack in my brain. The soundtrack is really good. Also, did you know that the composer and primary artist is also Zagreus?
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, you remember your invul. By the way, this guy, if you go to like turn 3, this guy has Pierce invul. He sucks, so beat him up fast. I had to reset this fight. It was dumb.
Alright, but let's see, where? Ah, here we are. This next one comes from Moon is very ill. They say, question, hello. Ah. Wait, are you? Yeah, god damn it, if I had enough, I probably could do it, but I don't.
Curse you, NPCs.
Yeah.
And he's got the sure hit.
And he's got the sure hit, so I can't do it. Alright, yep, it's gonna be a command smell.
I think several people have had to do that.
But, they say, question, hello there, Lucky Omega. Hope you're both in good health, unlike yours truly. What's something that you've used to dislike or hate eating now, but love? For me, it's ginger. I used to hate it, but now I can't get enough of it. Sometimes I just eat it raw. That's powerful. Ginger can be very bitter.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with it. Oh, I'm trying to think. Are there any, like, flavors of foods? I mean, I feel like, you know, as an adult, I've definitely toughened up on myself. I know that as a kid, I was absolute baby mode about, like, apples. Like, oh, no, you gotta skin them, slice them. Now I'm just like, fuck it, give me that apple. I'll eat 2 apples. You can't stop me.
I don't know if there's anything that I, like, love eating, but I've definitely, like, you know, calmed down on the hate of some foods. I still don't like mushrooms or tomatoes, like, raw. I just don't like mushrooms in general, though, I should say. Unless they, you know, give me a good trip, if you know what I'm saying. But, I remember I did used to hate things like cabbage. And nowadays, I'm like, no, cabbage is okay. Same with spicy food. I used to be that kid who couldn't have any sort of spicy food. And while I can't, you know, go like ghost pepper and habanero, you know, I can eat me a plate of hot wings now.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that was something similar for me. That, like, when I was... Honestly, probably a lot of small kids are like that, because spice is just painful.
Pain!
But, like, I was like, no, you gotta get me plain hot wings. And then I'm like, no, you gotta get me actual hot wings. They have to be spicy. I mean, I'll eat a plain chicken wing, because it's chicken wing and it's usually fried, but, like, give me the spice. I haven't really tried to push it very far, but, you know, I'm like yes, no, I prefer the hot wings to non-hot wings.
You know, like, I can't get super spicy, but I do like mild spice. Like, one of my favorite ways to make burgers is I will actually mix buffalo sauce into the meat. So it becomes a buffalo burger, like a buffalo spice burger. And I'm like, oh, this is really super good.
It's interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, by the way, that's a... I mean, I have eaten them if I had to, if there was no other good food source around. I've never been a really weak hamburger guy. I much prefer, like, a chicken sandwich.
Sandwich.
But then again, I don't know. Maybe because I started with, like, not necessarily being a huge fan of just home-grilled, you know, hamburgers. I've never really tried any of them big fancy burgers.
But, oh god, no, I love grilling. My grill game is amazing.
I've never personally grilled because we don't really do it a lot, but we do come from a grilling family.
Like, we finally got our grill set up outside, and, like, when the weather is good, we're out there, like, on steaks, sirloin, burgers. It's good. It's good. It's really good.
I should ask about some steak or something. Like I said, I've been tired this week. Maybe need some red meat.
I won't say that I'm good at grilling, but, you know, I can make something edible. Yeah, you see,
Listen, you know, when you're grilling it yourself, it's like, yeah, can I eat it? That's all you really need. I know you want to make people want to make good food, but my personal cutoff is if I made this, can I eat this?
Yeah.
Possibly, if I made this for multiple people, can everybody eat this? Then it's good. We've succeeded.
We have succeeded. Good job, us.
Back pats all around. High fives.
I love Calamity Jane's energy, by the way.
Calamity Jane's great.
Actually, what is her
I'm glad
MP?
I've got her at NP4. I wish I had more tickets to go for the
I have her at
5th.
NP2. That's
we're at
fine.
4.
NP2's good.
But there's a banner right around the corner.
Yeah, there is.
Welcome to Hell Week.
Hell Week.
Muramasa came without too much kerfuffling.
Everyone's talking about like how to do this strategy when I am like so past this fucking fight already.
Yeah, guys, we're already done through the fight. I know if you want to assert, I just raised the comment that I'd heard a lot of people did have to use seals on that fight. I personally think that I ended up when I did have to reset, I ended up using the Buster Up Guts one, as somebody suggested. But there are multiple ways. It's just like I said. I explicitly saw some people comment about how they remember this fight and had to use seals.
But let's see. Here.
Saturday Night tweeted. Let's retweet that. Like always, like clockwork.
Like clockwork. But no, like, yeah, no, spicy. Like, someone mentioned, Hispanic families, and I came from a black family, and like, I don't think we go necessarily as ham on spice as other cultures, but there's definitely some things that you want to have fucking spicy, especially if you come from like a southern family. Like, you gotta have that spicy gumbo, that spicy jambalaya, them spicy fried chicken, and all that spice, and I'm just all like, I'm dying here. Just give me ketchup, please.
Yeah, as I'm sure chat may recall, I am very white, but not so much anymore. But like my mother is British, so there was curried chicken in my household, and also I don't know, I just my dad's side of the family picked up because they're not really southern, but just picked up like again the spicy hot wings and a little bit of the spicy chicken and stuff. One of my brothers was in his teenage years was obsessed with hot sauce, so like. It's just the kind of thing where you pick up a little bit. I'm not quite crazy enough to just dab a little bit of hot sauce on like everything like he used to, but like you get me like a meat or something, I'll spice it up a little. I don't mind. Hell, I'll like in my time I have eaten, frozen supermarket, chicken nuggets and chicken patties and other, shit, and I'm like, this is too bland. Give me the salt and pepper. I'm gonna spice this up a little, even if it's only the basic bitch stuff. We're gonna zest this up.
I haven't had jambalaya in fucking forever. I should get me some. I'm not a fan of seafood jambalaya, but give me some fucking sausage jambalaya. That shit is the best. Well, Lucky's not a fan of seafood in general, though. That is something that has not changed about my tastes. Well, no, I take that back. That is technically a lie. I don't know why I said that. I do not like store-bought fish. Give me fresh caught fish and, serve it up pretty nicely. I can eat that no problem, but... just something about store-bought fish just drives me off so badly.
Honestly, it probably comes to the fact that you have to ask the question of where's the nearest water. You buy sushi at the gas station?
Listen, this is the Pacific Northwest. We literally like fishing is literally our industry.
Yes, no. You can probably trust some of that fish, but like
Yeah.
I've known lots of people, lots of places, and there's just like I wouldn't trust buying that fish. I don't know where it came from. If you can go to the fucking fish market and you can see the fish come out of the water in the morning and arrive in your lap, that's fine. And I personally, I've also never been a really big seafood guy. Don't really like the smell or taste of like shellfish from what I remember. I guess it's been a while since I tried, but that's when you remember not liking a food, it's kind of hard to be like, nah, I want to get in there. And the only, like, obviously as a kid, I ate fish sticks because of course I did. Those don't taste like anything. But I've talked about this before. I've had authentic British fish and chips in Cornwall, right by the ocean side in the newspaper wrap, and it's good. It's probably not good for you, but it tastes good. It's cod fried and battered.
Just thinking about that fucking inspector from Ace Attorney just rah, 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 just angrily eating fish and chips.
Hopefully we can get back to that.
One day.
We'll catch up. We're soon. We're good. We're gonna, only a couple of days. We'll go back to Newman Along and God of War.
Noom.
too fast a little bit to bring it up because Lucky wasn't on that stream because again he was sweepy, he had to get up. Several people in chat did say that they felt like somewhere in that point there was where they feel like the break between a hypothetical game 2 and 3 could have been, and I kind of agree. So.
Oh yeah, with like Atreus arriving at Asgard and whatnot, and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Somewhere in there probably could have been the break roll credits, but it's not quite paced that way as it turns out. But hopefully that means we're getting into the hump and the. Maybe not. The last the act 3 of the movie, but hopefully we're in the back 9 of the golf course. That still means you got half the game of golf to play, guys. All right, hold on. Audacity's being a little bit laggy. I'm gonna stop it down and reset it. Make sure we're not losing any audio.
Oh, the prepackaged store-bought fish. It's like when I'm talking about like fresh caught fish. I mean, my friends went out on a boat that morning, like at 3 a.m. Spent like 6 hours fishing, came back with like several trout and a couple salmon, and they fucking filleted that shit up, and then they dumped it. They covered it in batter and deep fried it, and they're like, "Here you go," and I was all like, "It's just pretty good."
Yeah, no. I'm not going to get up at 3 a.m. and do the fishing, but I'll eat it.
I mean, I would, but like I haven't gone fishing in like ages. I've only gone like fishing once, and I never caught a fish. I don't understand how people do it. It's magic to me.
I'm trying to remember if I've successfully ever caught a fish. My dad used to own a boat when we lived further south in Florida and down by the coast, and there would be regular boating trips, every so many weekends, but I don't really know if we caught a lot.
You're welcome.
We experimented with a lot of catching. I don't think any of it really worked that well.
But yeah, let us move on.
Audio is back, by the way. We didn't. I think we lost a couple of seconds on there somewhere. I don't know where it was from. Hopefully not important.
Hopefully not important.
It was probably about fish.
Now it's a part where I'm gonna say something. I was saying something and it cut off some very important words, and out of context, it's gonna sound very horrible. Just you wait. Just you wait. But, let us move on. This next one comes from, in terms of alias, we have no alias. Oh, this person's the fucking group now, I guess. Or is it the royal we? But they say, "Hey, Lucky Omega, lone time, no mailbag submission. I don't have a question. Just stopping by to say hello and bring you the good vibes." Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's keep going. Next one. Gahulian God. They say, when FGO first started, or whenever you guys started playing FGO, that was day 1.
When it started?
Mm-hmm.
I was like day -3, technically, because you could install the game for a couple of days before the servers were live.
I think I was worked there with Omega. Have you ever thought that we end up fighting beasts, aliens, and franchise icons? I don't know why franchise icons is in...
Yeah, I don't know. Is that like are you trying to suggest something there? Are you suggesting a possible spoiler? I don't know.
I don't get it.
To answer your question, yes, though, because before FGO started, I was roughly familiar with the plot of Part 1. Because I had assumed for, like... I think I've told this before. I learned of FGO, like, several months before it was even announced for English. So I had assumed when I learned about it that it was never coming out in English. Like most things Fate at the time. And then they did it, so I was already like pre-aware of the rough ideas of what was going on in Part 1 and some of the early EOR stuff. So yeah, no, I kind of figured we'd be scratching some of those things that you said.
I didn't. I had no idea. Listen, I'm a dirty secondary and I don't give a fuck, but I did not do all that research. I only knew of Fate Stay Night, Tsukihime, and Unlimited Blade Works at that point. And I really wasn't super familiar with them.
Had the first Heaven's Feel movie even come out by then?
No.
Yeah, I don't think it had. We were in the lead up to it.
Mm-hmm. Let us keep going. This next one comes from he who is free from the curse. From the curse. He who is free from the curse. But at a great cost.
But at great cost.
But at great cost. Oh, this is a paragraph. People need to indent their paragraphs. Good evening, guys. How's the week for you? Tired. Listen, guys. Oh, this entire week, I had to wake up at 4:50 a.m. to get to work, and I did not get home till 4:30ish p.m. I spent like 12 hours in work mode.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Well, for me, I should say, I'm pretty sure there's other people who work more and get less sleep, but I'm not you and you ain't me, so.
Also, I think via the power of regulation, they're not supposed to do that for a whole work week straight. Like, usually it's like a day or two on and then a couple of days off kind of shit. Like, if you're on call 24 hours, you usually get some number of days off because humans need so much to operate.
No, I think I can because technically my work hours was only 10 hours and they're paying me they're paying me accordingly. It's just that work never takes into account the amount of time it takes to travel and or prepare oneself for work. They don't care. Yeah. So
they just tell you got to show up, you got to do it.
Yeah, because I only worked 50 hours. It's
50 viewers. YouTube is telling me it's a good time for an ad. Also, yes, I think the game is that. If you're asking why is the game echoing, it's probably because it's loud enough to come through Lucky's microphone again.
Is it?
Yeah, some people are reporting a little bit of echo.
Let me. Well, max volume here. Oh wait, no, I can fix it. I'll just turn it down. I'm being dumb. I'll just turn it down on my actual desktop. Derp. There we go. That should help. That should help. Yay! All right. Slap myself. That hurt. Where were we? Oh. Yes. I will continue on what Liz was saying. Good evening, guys. How was the week for you? For me, bad and good news. Good news, I got Muramasa. Massa? Got
Muramasa. Buongiorno.
Bad news, I got him out of pity. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy that I have him. I'm grateful for the pity system for this game. But I cannot help but think that the precedent that the pity will have for those who want to roll for newest servants if my terrible luck on getting Limbo, Ibuki, and Murasaka have anything to go by. With that said, you have any servants you're looking forward to this year. Hopefully don't worry getting them from the guaranteed summon. I wish you the best for you for your future pulls and have a great day. I mean, I think ideally for me, I want to get pulled like 2 Koyanskayas on the fucking pity roll. On the pity roll. I don't know if it works that way.
Yeah, I don't actually know how the pity process works. Does it show up on the roll, or does the game go, you have rolled too many, here is your one?
Yeah, I actually don't know how it works, because I think I've only really rolled seriously once since the pity system, and that was for, of course, Muramasa, and I didn't come anywhere near pity for that, so...
Good, no. Yes, no, the person in chat who typed that, yes, you typed that. That is how you typed it.
Yeah. Like... I wish the best for you for your future pools and have a great day. Yeah, no, like...
Proofing. I know some people are on, like, mobile and stuff, but you can still proofread. Wait 5 minutes, read your mailbag back to yourself, and make sure it makes sense.
Editing! But, like I said, there's just a lot of things here. Like, I probably won't go to pity on Kagekyo. Probably not. I'll probably do my solid, 280 packs, and if I don't get her, I'll probably roll on the ground and cry a little bit, but...
Such is life.
Such is life. For Summer Kama, Jacques de Molay, and both Koyanskayas, though, like, prepare to see Lucky reach another level if he has to. Like, I'm shooting for MP2 minimum on all of those. And I'm not entirely sure how pity works for multiple MPs, because I know he says they can get guaranteed 1 if you don't roll the SSR, but who knows? Who fucking knows? I don't know. Yes, I'll be... Well, actually... Originally in JP, yes, LB6 was before Annie, but for us,
Some number of LB6s will be before anniversary
yeah.
because of Lucky Bag summoning. They tried it once, and then everybody was mad, so they decided never to do that again. That was our first Thanksgiving, in case you guys forgot or weren't here. They did the Lucky Bag on Thanksgiving instead of New Year's, but that means they had to cut Jack and Mordred out of it, and people were not happy about that.
Nope.
So they basically said, okay, we won't do that again.
And they haven't. Good job on them.
Yeah. Does sometimes mean that story content is backed up very close to anniversary. I remember Singularity 6 Camelot was like Lancer Artoria was like 2 days before anniversary or something. It was very close, but yeah, they've made it so it works out.
Guys, quick question. Are you saying that even I understand you can only get one copy, but does the pity stop if you do get a copy while you're rolling, or even if you get a copy, does the pity still go up? Like, that's the thing I'm worrying about right now. You say yes. You did not, like, actually, I don't know if I qualify both options.
I feel like you kind of phrased it as yes or no. I'm not sure. It stops when you get one copy.
Okay, very well then.
Okay, so when you get a copy, the pity counter stops.
That sucks slightly. I cry.
Yeah, it's a little. It makes it harder to get MP2s, which are fun. But we've talked about this before. There's a lot of room that they could improve the pity system very slightly now that they've got it and not worry about affecting their bottom line. But we'll see. We'll see when they decide to do that, because while JP usually does like a monthly little bit of quality of life update and bug fixes, they usually save big stuff for big tent poles, so we'll see.
We will see.
For me, I mean, Muramasa was probably the first one where I was in danger of needing to actually start spending out of my wallet. That one luckily did not come to pass. So I'm not really sure. I mean, like, depending on how it looks in, 4 or 5-ish months,
Space Horse.
I might go pretty ham on Morgan, but we'll see.
Sorry, I'm just enjoying Space Horse.
Yeah, when we get comedic events, we get the subtitles for stuff. Well, I should have double checked. I wonder if any of the. I think some of the enemies in Little Big Tengu will have funny names too.
I'm assuming there's gonna be monkeys.
There might be some monkeys. There's a little bit of a world travel sub theme, so we'll be going to different areas and we'll see a variety of different mobs.
Neat.
It's part of their missions. Okay, all right.
All right, but let's keep going. This next one comes from No Time, Only Procrastinator. And they say, sending good vibes. Well, thank you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Good vibes have been received and returned unto you.
Got that good vibration.
The next one comes from Dave Too Late.
No, you're perfectly on time, Dave.
Perfectly on time, don't worry. But they say, do you think we'll get Artoria Moon Cancer or Avenger first when she finally fills all classes?
I would assume Avenger?
I'm assuming Avenger, yeah. Do we have an alter ego Artoria?
No, I don't think so.
We definitely don't have a
And
Pretender
Foreigner.
Artoria.
No, because it's too new.
Yeah.
Though we do... Actually, it's right. Lady Avalon did end up Pretender, right? Chat?
Yes.
My brain melting?
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
No, Ayako Kawasumi did voice a Pretender. It's not quite the same thing, but it's funny. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm still personally assuming, like, Avenger. Like, where's my Lancer Alter Artoria Summer?
Yes.
Where is she? Reaches through camera frame.
It's like, Lysango, what you doing? What you doing, Lysango? But yeah, I don't know. I would say like maybe like some sort of Moon Bunny Moon Cancer, but we already got Bunny Artoria. It's a casino bunny.
That one is a ruler, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I can explain my joke real well, so I'm not going to try. So we're going to move on. This next one comes from Monster Girl Aficionado. Oh, I see you are a card-carrying member as well. Oh my god, I should actually make fucking business cards with that on it. Can we make a Monster Girl Aficionado Club? I want to do that now.
I don't see anything in the bylaws that are against it.
I'm gonna see if I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna make me fucking Monster Girl fan club membership cards.
I mean, it was years ago now, but I did business cards. That was before we had a custom URL, so they're a little out of date. But
Yes, hello, my name is Lucky. I love Monster Girls. Here's my business card. Yes, you can see it right there. Lucky, Monster Girl lover. Perfect. Yes, I'm also membership. Oh man, that sounds so wild. I'm gonna fucking do that. Gotta figure it out. But that's for later. I'm gonna put it on the list of things I want to do.
Graphic design is his passion.
Yeah, I could totally get like different Monster Girl silhouettes on there. Yeah. Maybe I can ask. Ooh.
You're watching ideas unfold in real time.
All right, I know a couple artists. I could maybe can ask for some silhouettes. That might work. Nothing too fancy. We don't want to go crazy on ink. Okay. They say, Dear Lucky Omega, no questions this week. Just sending you the good vibes. Wah. And wishing you well. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me ideas. I have to write shit down now. We'll keep going. Oh, no, it's been broken. This next one comes from Agent 418 here for their mission to be at the bottom of the mailbag. It's not at the bottom of the mailbag, though. There's like two below
it's
you.
Not the very last one.
How dare! I am slightly upset.
My entire worldview is shaken.
I'm really tempted just to delete these last two just to make it.
Oh, that'd be rude though.
I know it would be rude, but listen. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices to maintain the world as it is, and then that means yeeting a couple fuckers into space. I'm not gonna say Machiavelli was wrong.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. And yes, Chad, I did just quote Ghostbusters. It's a very good movie. It's very quotable. Yes, sir, this man has no dick. Well, we can't read Angent 418's last because that's not a person.
Also, because I didn't realize who it was until I said it. Now it just seems a little weird. Now you know I'd be lying. And in politics, no one can know you're lying. Everyone knows you're lying, but they can't be able to prove it. And this is unfortunately being recorded, so you all got proof, and we can't have that now. I am an honest politician. I swear to our Lord and Savior Tiamat.
I mean, I could do some editing, but
Nah,
you have to find like timecode.
Too much work. I ain't about that life.
Sorry, that's me shivering. It's 43 degrees now outside.
I am very shook that it's actually colder at Omegas than it is at my, because at me, it is reading 49 degrees.
Father Winter creeps ever closer.
But they say, hello, Lucky Omega. Have a good weekend. Same to you. Listen, this is just a one-off. This is just a one-off, my dude. You'll be back at the bottom, sealing us up nice and tight next week. I'm sure of it. But we move on. This next one comes from a passing through comments writer. Boost Lucky and Magnum Omega. Which low rated servant would you raise up to 120 with max foes, pause included if the researchers were not part of the equation? May the rolls be always in your favor. This our year of the lucky. It is very correct. But for me, it's easy. Blackbeard. I love Blackbeard. I love him to death.
Qualifies as a low rarity in this case. Are silvers okay? Medusa in that case. If you want bronzes, I'd have to think. No, I don't. Who am I kidding? It's Gareth.
Like honestly, once we get groundcasting and I get all my Tamamos and all my Sakura faces up, I probably will start working getting Blackbeard up there, just for the top keks.
There's definitely some fun to be had there, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I got a lot of servants to get through. I really do. And our last one. This last one comes from a master rushing through space. They say, hey guys, hope your week has been alright. No question, just good vibes. Wah, 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 wah. Now I must return to the one place capitalism hasn't corrupted yet. Space. That is a lie.
Space! No, it's a fucking Red Alert quote. Command and Conquer. Tim Curry's character says this line.
Space!
Now I must return to the one place capitalism hasn't corrupted yet. Space!
I know that gif. I just never play fucking Red Alert.
I haven't either, but I know people who do. Very memey.
All right, but everyone, thank you very much for your submissions. It is very good. What's actually, I can look at the mission clock. We've been going for only for an hour and a half, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like it's been longer.
A decent number of those mailbags were just well wishes. Well, we'll get some more time because it's probably a good time for a quick intermission.
All right, intermittent away.
Intermission.
Don't I get another soda?
And I'll pause this. And when we come back, then it'll be time for the Little Big Tengu pregame. And then we're just going to faff around for, I don't know, 30 minutes? An hour?
Probably.
Who knows?
I only got a couple things to talk about.
I'll be right back.
Let's see here. I want to talk about probably my experiences with Deathloop. That probably won't take too long. Probably talk a little bit about Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy 12, both of which I'm playing. I could talk about anime, but I don't know. We're still really fresh in the season. Like, I don't think I really want to talk about it until we get past episode 3 of things. Although I can tell people that I'm not really that as into to be a eminence in the shadows as I thought I was gonna be. I'm starting to realize I really don't like brain dead protagonists. Like, I'm realizing this, like, reading it and or watching it. It's like, when main characters are just so detached from their actual world, I'm just like, fuck. Oh, who did I choose to release from, Nikkeijo? Quincy? The big boob one. The one that escapes a lot. I actually need to work on my Nikkei today. I was earlier, but I was like, I said I'm using, my phone, actually, I should probably... I've been working on a D-Child as well because they have a sweet event that has a character that can go from Holy Mother to Dami Mommy with one costume. I'm just like, yes, I am about this. So let me boot up Nikkei while I'm thinking about it. I have not heard I have not heard it yet. Like I said, I haven't got caught up on everything. Unfortunately, I'm not super caught up on Wizard of the Coast stuff either. Like, I'm not that much a fan of Magic, D&D, or any of that stuff, so Wizard of the Coast news kind of blows me by. Maybe when Omega gets back, he'll know something, because he actually keeps more abreast on those sort of things. I'm not sure what character you're talking about when you mention Kihara. Getting stuff. I'm pretty sure I know who this Kihara is, but I can't. My fucking anime slash game character directory is too fucking full. Oh, Kiara. You put an H in there, so I was confused. Actually, yeah, she is kind of that. She is kind of that. That aesthetic. Actually, let me see if I can pull up an image of her. Oh, actually, no, wait. I think I put it in our Gacha channel. Let me see here. We actually had to put a, we actually had to make a Goddess of Victory Nikkei channel. Okay, I did find it. Okay. Let me save this image. And then save this image. Then we're going to go to OBS here. We're going to push some buttons. We're gonna add an image. I'm gonna be like, okay. Let me make sure I turn off the image here. Desktop, downloads. Okay, so this is how the character originally looks. Let me see. Actually, how big are you gonna be? Oh, you're really big. So this is what the character originally looks like. She has another ascension in which she like her thighs become exposed, and is like, very nice, very nice, very nice indeed. But then you can get a costume, which I just got today, by the way. That looks like this. As they say in the business, neurons were activated. That's a good way to put it, actually. Yeah, no, you can get that costume for free if you do the Ragna Burst. And I've been working very hard on that, but let me remove that now. Oh, so I've been working very hard on getting that costume. But, oh, I should admit, but, like I said, I do like to shout out D-Child when I can. It's actually the gacha game that came out before Nikke, done by the developer Shift Up, who are also working on Stellar Blade, which is the Korean, you know, Nier lookalike. They like doing sexy ladies.
Okay. Hello, I'm back, Chad.
He is back.
Sorry, that had to go check on my laundry in the dryer. It's not fully dry yet, which is not good because it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. We are fully back. Audio is unpaused. I hope you had a fun intermission.
I showed him off D-Child's character I was working on.
Mm. Yeah.
Honestly, if I want to say a game that you can literally fire and forget, it's D-Child. They have almost no limited units. They have lots of. They are very, very generous with free currency and their drop rates.
It's very solid.
It's a very solid game just to put up and pick down. And like right now, if you join, they're doing an event where you can get basically some like the most high level characters you can get just for free, just by doing some basic ass shit. Because in this game, you know, the normal tiers is 5 stars, but then you can upgrade them to 6 stars and then give them plus 6 stars and then get their ignition up to level 6. And this game right now is just doing an event. Oh yeah, if you just do these basic ass things, we'll give you a 6-star, 6 ignition plus 6 servant just for free. 1 every day. Go for it. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, the crossover units are limited, but everything else is just permanent. Like, because you've missed out on 2 Dead or Alive collabs, the Kimono Friends collab, the Hatsune Miku collab, and the Guilty Gear collab. Those are the only missing limited units. Everything else, once their banner's over, it gets put in the permanent pool.
As long as you announce that ahead of time.
Yeah.
Everything's A-okay.
Yeah. But sorry about that. Listen, I'm a really big fan of D-Child and Nikke, just because I like... Their business model is not the worst. Let's see here. Ooh.
All right. We can talk about something else. Sorry, I was just checking up the chat battle log. We can probably mention some of those other things that chat brought up. After we finish out the proper show, let's talk FGO with pregame. Don't worry, it won't be too long.
That's right, they had a cat.
When I was reading over it, Little Big Tengu is pretty straightforward, actually.
That's good.
So I'll run it for you now, because we don't really have anything better to do with our time. Or we do, and we should get onto it. You don't have anything better to do with your time. You should listen. Stay a while. Anyway, Little Big Tengu is another 100 mission event to get you your free Kichi Hogan welfare. There you go. We got another welfare assassin. Finally. Other than that, it follows the pretty typical formula for most events. There are 8 actual acts of quests, 8 sections. There's some transitions in between as you unlock story progress of the missions, but those are, no battle, no reward, no AP pip nodes, so it's pretty simple. There's 8 actual quests you're going to be doing for the most part. Completing all of this gets you your 7 Saint Quartz, you get your permanent Kichi after getting your temporary at the start. You get a Grail in there as well. And they did manage to tuck in a CE. Like, Act 1 is technically Part 1 and Part 2, but it's still all tied together so you can get all your stuff. So, fairly straightforward. Now, clearing these story elements should be pretty easy. Most enemies will be between the 50k and 100k range. By the way, this is a bonus damage event. You'll see a handful of story-related buffs and debuffs on people. You will also be facing a wide variety of classes. There's no real tendencies or trends here. There's just a lot of stuff going on. The only thing I'd like to point out is maybe the last 3 fights you want to watch out for. So, in, I think it's Act 5. Yeah, because it's the last 3 quests. Act 8 doesn't count. That's the finale. That gives you the Grail and the permanent Kichi Hogan. And there's no fight in it. But I think it's your fifth act. You're gonna fight. You're gonna do a battle, I should say, where there's gonna be an obvious distraction enemy with 3 million HP. You should ignore them and kill the other 2 enemies. They're the ones that count. In Act 6, we're also gonna bust out Megalos again. I'm sure you missed that fight with another 50k guts. So keep that shit in mind. Mega Herc is coming back. And the final act will involve a couple of fights with some Avenger boss with this weird Genji trait thing. Never saw that one before. Anyway, the first fight is break 1 bar only. The second fight is for keeps. If you have completed Heian Kyo, you'll remember some boss fights with a very similar gimmick. Almost the exact same gimmick where there's some curse damage and there's some anti-Genji stuff. So watch out for that. Second time is for keeps, like I said. Now, you do get some story supports for this, mostly in the form of Maeve. By the way, if you're one of those people who really doesn't like Maeve, you're going to have a bad time. She's in this event a lot. But she's going to be your primary story support. You will also see brief moments from Waver, Gray, Medea, and Ushi in the mix, along with a couple of other one-offs for some fun stuff. But as you might expect from a 100-mission event, you're going to spend a bulk of your time doing free quests, so you can clear missions in order to unlock story quests so you can get your rewards. Thankfully, as always, these are all monoclass or mixed berserkers. Some of them are actually mixed, but it's berserkers, so keep that in mind. Enemies are pretty normal. You're looking at 30k to 40k for mob HP. Bosses only get as high as like 150, 160k. There are no weird wave clear numbers. The highest node is 333, so we're done fucking around for a little bit.
That's good.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So it all should be fairly simple.
Damn it! They keep one-shotting my berserker. Stop it, Tota. Fuck. Ah!
Ah! Yeet race. Well, that one he just bullied your non-berserker.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for them big crits. Anyway, let's see. Which bullet point was I at? Right. Free quests should be pretty simple. No weird wave numbers. Fairly manageable HP. So the bulk of your work is going to come in the form of missions. On your mission list, you're going to get all the command codes. You're going to get extra copies of Kichi, so your NP and your Ascension mats here. You're going to get a copy of the event CE. Yes, that means there are 5. Thank God. You're going to get 3 tickets, a lore if you complete all of them. There's going to be some gold apples in there, some mana prisms, and you're looking at materials, which include bones, lanterns, chains, gears, arrows, egg, stingers, metals, pomegranates, lamps, seeds, bullets, homunculi, wines, lanagos, and a few skill gems.
Damn it, no crystals.
Damn, spicy skill gems. They also give you a thing called Tengu candles. I'll explain that one in a second. And I'm going to be honest, I've looked at the mission list. Actually completing missions, very easy. Almost all of them are related to either killing certain types of enemies or doing quests in specific areas. The primary thing to be aware of is to make sure you're getting currency drops, because you need a decent number of those. And as always, it's got a welfare, so you need to ascend and bond up Kichi Hogan and take her with you. And do recall that some missions specifically call out servants, not just enemies, so keep that in mind. But some of you have been playing the Saber Wars 2 rerun have definitely, been seeing the little note right under quest saying quest target, mission target. I'm sure that this will also have that quality of life, so it should be pretty easy to figure out what you're doing. It's all just grinding. The CE is for spawn rate, so it's just to make enemies, a powerful enemy spawn more, get you extra spawns so you can do, more clears, right?
Yeah.
And if you're 3-turn clearing, you probably don't even need to bother with that. You just do the event faster. But, it's something to keep in mind. So, fairly simple and straightforward. Okay, so, Tengu candles. Now, to explain how this works, before a quest during this event, you're going to get a pop-up, and that'll let you activate those little miniature guy servants from the Prisma collab to give you bonuses. Loth has a conniption fit every time I compare something to a Funko Pop, so I won't do that. I'm still think it, though. But no, actually, it's just the mini servants from the Prisma collab. There's like a mini Jason and stuff in there. Anyway, these guys give you a bonus effect. Like, let me pull it up for people since we're not hurting for time. Like some examples.
Note to self: call things Funko Pops are on Lost, especially on Borrow Trauma. I need to get that recorded.
Well, don't force it too much. That'll telegraph it too hard. Also, I don't know if is there anything that looks like a Funko Pop in Barotrauma? Well, we can figure it out. Can we compare Orange Boy to him?
Orange Boy is too precious to be a Funko Pop. I love Orange Boy.
That's true. Okay, so
or as we named him, Super Orange Boy!
Yeah, so for example, if you use the Jason bonus skill, you get extra arts and reduce enemy critical chance. If you use the Mini Coup one, you get Buster Up and you get extra evade.
Invincible.
So it's just good stuff. But anyway, the Tengu candles you get, you spend them in the store to level those skills up. So they're only level 1 to 5, but still, it's a pretty big increase. For instance, that Jason one is you get a chance to give the party arts up for 10 turns. It starts at 10% at level 1. If you spend the Tengu candles to make it level 5, it's 30%. And I'm not really seeing a cost. It's just randomized. So there's no guarantee what you'll get, but all of them are good. So just level up all of them and it will make the event even easier. Yeah, there's a little Ushi. It's super cute. She also gives you quick up. And if you're very lucky, you'll get all of them at once, which just gets you like all the bullshit. All 3 card types, NP up, star up. Damn, if you level that up all the way, that's 50 stars at the start of the fight. Jesus.
Terrifying, but awesome.
Yeah, so I think the only thing that balances this is, again, like I said, it's randomized. So you don't get to guarantee the buff, but all of them are good. So spend your Tengu candles, you earn them on missions, level these skills up. You get some extra action in there. Should help make your farming and story fights easier. Now, through these free quests and these missions, you do have some bonus servants to, do more damage, clear faster. Of course, naturally, Kagekiyo and Kichi are plus 100% damage and plus 50% bond. Also, Kichi Hogan gets double XP right out of the gate. Love this feature. Especially because you do have to level her up for mission clear. Mm-hmm. Jason, Benkei, Maeve, Ushi, and Ku Alter all get plus 50% damage and 20% bond. So it's a little bit of a small list, but it's pretty good. Jason will probably use that bonus damage a lot. And, you can certainly get some action out of your other Indians there. And then the Dioscuri, all forms of Liz, currently in-game. Caesar, Fergus, Nobukatsu, Skahak, all forms of Jolter, that is, Santa Alter, Lily, Jolter, Summer, and Regular. Medusa Lily, Iskandar, and Alex, Ilya, Waver, Lady Murasaki, Iris Veal, by the way. Yeah, Iris on this bonus servant list.
That's deep.
Both Medea and Medea Lily, Gray, Mao Nobu, Gorgon, and Sitonai all get plus 20% damage and bond. Mash is not actually a bonus servant if I'm reading the list correctly, so that's interesting. Yeah, I'm not seeing her on the list, so unless the graphic is wrong, she is not a bonus servant, but there's lots of other stuff there. Lots of old welfares, lots of low-rarity servants, plenty of silvers, a couple of bronzes. So, yeah, should be a fun time, and you should be able to organize your support lists pretty well. But hopefully, chat, you may have picked up on the theme with some of those duos of servants. There's lots of sets and doubles. But hopefully, getting all those bonus servants will let you clear the shop. The shop contains more stuff. It's going to have 4 more copies of the CE, finally. EXPs and foes, lots of card unlockers, and mats like Big Bells. We've got the biggest bells of them all. Spinal fluids, proofs, stingers, magatamas, gallstones, giant rings, bloodstones, and canonically those new Oni Lantern mats. So I don't think these will be different. We don't need to add new mats in. You just get them here. Also, there's going to be Lancer Rider caster statues. I mentioned earlier there are skill gems in the missions. I think those are all Lancer Rider caster gems as well. And as I mentioned before, the CE is for enemy spawns. That's where I wrote it in my notes at this part. And now, not really buckle up because it's not like crazy, but do be advised, if you're going to be scrolling through your banners, be advised you're going to have some banners. Be advised you're being advised. Because how this worked in JP, but now we have Pity, this means there's going to be a lot of separate rate-ups. So obviously you'll have brand new Avenger Kagekiyo for one, but also this event came with rate-ups for Maeve and Ku Alter, both of whom are story-locked, so they will now have separate banners, presumably in separate Pity rates. Regular Ushi and the currency CE should be there all the time. The CEs in the gacha are just for currency for drops, so keep that all in mind. Additionally, this will come with some very fun other updates, because we should be getting, assuming we haven't got them already, and I don't think we have, should be getting our rank ups for Ushi and Benkei. So this will be Ushi's 3rd rank up for the Charisma. Going to turn her Charisma into Thunder and Gale. That means you get more attack, more critical damage, and some stars. And Benkei's NP gets upgraded. So it goes from EX to EX, you know, as you do.
As you do.
Let me see. What are the effects on that upgrade, dude? I remember it being pretty cool.
All right, I need you to spin the win, Tomacat.
Rank EX. Oh, right. This is the one that gives it strips all buffs. Oh. Because fuck you. It also increases the curse damage he does from 500 base to 1k base, and scales up to a maximum of if you've got 500% overcharge, 5,000 curse damage per turn for 3 turns.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, a decent buff for your big Benkei. I mean, honestly, I'm really expecting this to be, I guess they decided to just stick it out and wait for the Lost Belt, but I'm kind of expecting this to show up at some point during the year for JP as a rerun, because it would line up very well with us. The fact that they started the pre-release campaign makes me kind of suspicious that it won't be right away, but we'll see. But yeah, both of these rank ups are good. Chat, actually, you can let me know. Do we already have the animation updates for Benkei and Ushi?
I don't think so.
Because if we don't, then they're coming. That's this. So if they're not in yet, that means that'll also be here. So yeah, just in general, a fun time all around. There's some banners out there. You know, if you're not keen on Kagekiyo, it's a freaking Ku Alter and a Maeve rank up. Both of those guys are still really good.
Already have them? Okay. Huh.
Okay, that's neat. Well, I'll get to see them more in this event, because I'll probably be using these servants. But yeah, no. Obviously, I'll be doing the full Wanted treatment. That should probably be coming out over the upcoming week this week. I'll do Wanted Kagekiyo. So we'll talk about the pluses and minuses there. But Maeve and Ku Alter, both still really good servants who are story locked, so they're hard to get. Maeve is still one of the most damaging single target riders in the game, assuming you hit her trait damage on males. And I'm pretty sure Ku Alter is still in like the top 5 most attack servants in the game still. If not, he's like tied with somebody. Like, it's pretty good. Okay, yeah, they just did it in a bulk release around Christmas or somewhere. All right. But yeah, I'm I'm super stoked for this event. It seems cool. Kichi Hogan seems neat. Kagekyo, obviously, I mean, you know, hopefully Chad has been playing Heian Kyo to catch up with stuff. Oh, I didn't mention it because it doesn't really matter, but this is just a Mia Fuyuki clear event. So you can get in with just be playing the game. If you're brand new, clear Fuyuki, you can access this event. Honestly, probably why it's a little bit of a softball, you know, first event of the new year right after a Start Dash campaign. Probably good to sucker people in, get you a good unit. So yeah, seems fun. I'm glad that we're going to get all 5 copies of the CE, especially because it's that one Raiko CE, the one where she's making the Kintoki doll.
Yes.
It's that artwork, if you remember that one.
Yes.
You know, there's new servants, there's old servants. It seems like all the banners are good. We're going to get good rank ups with this. And hopefully it doesn't seem like it's going to be a pain in the ass. So, yeah, it's cool. It's a cool event. I'm excited. But that's all of that I got.
Alrighty.
Hopefully you guys are forewarned and forearmed.
I'm only
possibly forearmed. One brain cell.
But with that, I think we've hit all of the FGO topics we're going to hit this week, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So with that, we're gonna relax the seals on this show, and we're gonna probably swerve into a little bit of what's up territory, and just talk about some of the things that happened throughout the week. I do want to apologize for not being able to record yesterday. I was dying. I slept a lot.
I mean, you just explained it earlier, but to remind people, that was the you know, being up and working for basically 12 hours.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. But there were some things I did want to talk about. I mentioned it earlier, but Omega wasn't here. I'm not going to talk about anime this week because while I am watching many things, I do like to operate on the 3-episode rule to actually fully get the sense of a show. But there will be plenty for me to talk about if I can just, you know, write down my thoughts, which is probably something I'll probably try to do throughout the week. Something I can
there's
talk.
At least one. You might even be able to bring it up. I was going to say there's one thing anime related that's not happening yet, but is happening that we can mention.
Yes. I think a lot of people knew it was coming. I knew it was from, and I basically was pretty damn sure what this is. But we did get our official announcement that the Ancients Make Us Bride season 2 is in production. I do believe will come out this year. I don't remember. If they had a release.
Believe April is what I saw. So it's a few months out, but we got an official announcement.
Yes, and I knew this was going to be happening around this time because I do read the manga, and we're wrapping up the arc as we speak. Which, if you guys don't know, is how they did it for the first season as well. They released an OVA, a 3-part OVA series, then waited for the arc to finish. Well, almost finished, like within a chapter or 2 of it finishing, and then they released the anime so that the anime will end around the same time that the manga's arcs will finish. Like, that's how they did it with 1. That's probably, and I'm pretty sure that's how they're gonna do it with 2. I don't know how they decided to pull that off. Maybe they talked with the author or something.
I would have to assume that they are working pretty closely with the artist, because if I remember rightly, with the first series of Ancient Magus Bride, like, we were at a point where episodes were like, there was like 1 week where the episode technically ended after where the manga was. Like, the episode went like 5 minutes past where the last manga chapter had ended, and then when the next chapter came out, because I believe it's monthly.
Yeah,
it's in a monthly magazine. So like, then the next monthly chapter came out and obviously covered all the bits of it. But like, it was a very tightly organized schedule. So I can only assume that the production studio works closely with the mangaka.
Yeah. So that's very exciting. I know I'm excited about it. Omega's excited about it. Fujo in our Discord is also excited about it, and I'm pretty sure there's quite a few other people who are down to clown with some more Ancients Make Us Bride.
And if you're not excited about it, there's a whole first season you can watch.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I still haven't watched the 3rd episode of the OVA, and I should really get to that.
April 6th is confirmed. Okay.
Yep, Spring Core, baby. But yes, there's a lot of things I've been watching, and hopefully I will get to talk to them about next time. So with that out of the way, though, let's talk a little bit about video games. I did want to say this actually happened last weekend, but it was like Sunday, I believe, that happened. I did beat Deathloop, and I do have thoughts on it. So overall with Deathloop, I want to say I had a good experience. It's not a bad game, but I think it is a game that has unrealized potential in it. I think is the best way I'm going to explain this. Because I realized in the place of the game that for a game that tries to sell itself on you having all this crazy amount of options to do things, it's a game that in the end forces you to rely on one solution to beat the game. And I think that's a little messed up because for those who do not know, I mean, this was marketed to fucking death, but I will explain it. There are 7 people. Is it 7? I can't remember the number right now off the top of my head.
Yeah, because I think it's 8, but you're one of them.
Yeah, it's you have to kill 7 people in one day, and that day is in 4 segments. And you basically have to go around and, manipulate / modify their schedule so that multiple of them are in one area. The game tries to sell itself as, there's multiple ways and stuff. That's like, no, there's only one way. Literally, there's only one way to get everyone in position so you can kill them all at once. Because I can't remember her name, but the cult leader you can only kill in the morning. Only kill in the morning. That's it. But funnily enough, the only time you can kill Frankie is also in the morning. So what you gotta do is when you're on the way to kill the cult leader, you have to basically wire a fucking crate of explosives to blow up when he's at night in the last segment. So you actually never actually have to go into his fucking club. Because, fun fact, he doesn't even have his special ability slate. He throws that a fucking way, and you can go pick it up from somewhere else. You never have to meet the guy. And I'm just all like, okay? That seems a little weird, just to make this entire one area just completely optional. I'm like, I feel like we could have done something with this. And
yeah, I think if I remember rightly, I believe while he's not there, but you're dragged into his area in the tutorial a little bit. To kind of like walk around and explore and realize that shit is fucked up when you're looping.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't actually have to go in there and get him. Because I've done the segment where you actually go in there and get him and then you don't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird. That's like the only time I've actually did an actual death, by the way, is getting in that club because you have something called a class pass, which basically removes your powers or removes your slate power. So if you die in there, you die for real. But it's just one of those things I'm just like, okay, I guess I don't actually have to be here. And then the second part, like, you have to, like, do several loops to, find out the information to do things, which I actually really enjoy because there's a lot of investigation involved in it. Looking up notes, reading messages, listening to conversations, finding things. There's a lot of that, and, that's really, really fun. But, like, in the second part, the news segment, you have to go to the complex, and all you do there, all you do is you throw a jammer on a certain spot that reaches a thing that fucks up a dude's experiment, so he goes to a later guy's party. And you're like, okay, cool, that's set 2. That's all you have to do in that area. And then you leave and go to the next area where the fucking two of them are having a fucking tryst. And you can, fight them the old-fashioned way, which I did because I wanted their fucking slates and their fucking residuum. Or you can just set the entire place just to flood and, call it good that way. It's nice, I guess. And then, you go to night, and that's where you have to kill the wolf guy. You have to kill Wenji because you have to, otherwise, you have to usually kill her, I think, at, noon or afternoon.
Yeah, I believe that's when.
Yeah. And because she's all about that research, and she won't leave unless you do a really weird thing that involves faking a message to get her to show up at the party. And, the researcher guy because you fucked up his experience, and then Frankie blows up because you fucked up the thing. And then once you kill all of those and you did all the other necessary bullshit, you can get into a very, very experimental rocket ship to go kill the very last one. Like, I'm not necessarily gonna like get too explaining into that, but
yeah.
And then it's just like, that's it. That's like the perfect solution. And I'm just like, that's cool and all, but I really wish there was other ways I could have solved this problem. Like, no matter what, at the end of the day, that is the solution I have to take. I always have to fuck up the experience. I always have to, get those two right there. I always have to do that, like, every single freaking time. And I'm just like,
and I think if I remember rightly from the marketing and from some of the early levels of the game just kind of set up the idea that you will have a perfect loop. Like, there is obviously a golden solution where you get it all done at once, and that's what you're aiming for. But you are right that it is a little disappointing that there is only the one perfect loop. There is the optimal path where all the guys fall, and you have to do it this way. And I don't know, like, where was there, like, delays or whatever, or, restrictions on, like, getting it out there. I do know that it was a timed exclusive for a PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a year, which is very funny because it was developed by Arcane of Bethesda. Yeah. So again, talking like Lucky talked about a lot of that, like, investigation and stuff. This is the same teams, like the same studios who were working on shit like Dishonored and Prey.
Yeah, no. Prey, very good game. I highly recommend it.
Yes. I think technically Prey was specifically by Arcane's Austin studio, and Deathloop was by their Lyon studio, but it's still all, like, in the Arcane umbrella, so I assume there was a lot of crosstalk there.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, both of them worked on, like, Dishonored 2, and stuff like that. Wolfenstein, Youngblood, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so I feel like I don't want to, put on my conspiracy hat or anything, but I'm pretty sure there's no like DLC or anything.
No, like, you can keep playing the game afterwards, but, like, again, after you find that perfect solution, I guess you can only really do side shit. But, like, this is my other problem with the game.
So they did a Game of the Year version,
Golden Loop,
which I assume you got. Yeah, the Golden Loop. I assume you got that far.
Yeah. They gave you, like, a little bit of extra toys and but
new ability, new enemy types. They added cross-platform play for the asymmetric multiplayer, which I guess was somewhat necessary. But as far as I know, there's no DLC or anything for this game, and I'm gonna assume that's because, the game was always announced and intended to come out for PS5 between Bethesda and stuff with Sony. And then, like, after it was announced and stuff, that's when ZeniMax was bought out by Microsoft and incorporated into the Xbox Studios umbrella. And I don't, I feel like the game did pretty good. Yeah, I'm looking at the Metacritics. It's like, 88 on PS5, 89 on Xbox. Very high marks from most places. It won several awards that year.
Mm-hmm.
Best Game Direction and Best Art Direction by Game Awards 2021.
Oh, I can definitely understand art direction. It has a very funky vibe. And I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, it's got a very specific style. It won a shitload of Pegasus Awards when it came out on Xbox in 2022. Also won Outstanding Achievement in Game Direction at the DICE Awards. That reminds me, I should pull that list up again. We should probably mention the DICE Awards because they got announced. And they're good. But yeah, like, it feels like normally in our current marketplace, obviously this is a mostly single-player game, but the fact that, like, even with Prey, right? Prey is a single-player RPG. They still came out with, like, a, like, hard mode side story DLC to use all that engine package and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's none of that for Deathloop as far as I know, which is kind of a shame. Like, I feel like this is a game that has a good engine, but I wonder if maybe there were some issues with it being kind of developed in the like, during the pandemic was when a lot of that development got finalized, and obviously with the Xbox acquisition, I wonder if maybe that's why it feels a little truncated, because it obviously, when you make games, You make a lot of choices and stuff, whatever. Eventually, you got to trim those branches, right?
Well,
You got to narrow shit down.
You got to kill your dons.
Yeah, and you have to eventually make conceit so that you can actually finish the fucking game, because if designing Deathloop so that you could literally do anything and kill 8 of those guys, that doesn't work with the loop system.
No.
Like, maybe if they made it so that you didn't have to get them all in one loop, like you could get them once in one loop and like it was just you had to acquire their slates or whatever. And they did actually, because you talked about this last week on What's Up. People should go check that one out if you want to see some actual Deathloop gameplay and some conversation in the moment about it. But like the Visionaries, they're just like elite mooks basically. They're just normal enemies who have their special power. They're not really tough, that assuming you can actually like get in there and do it. Or not tougher than
like a sniper rifle to the head will take them out easily as anybody else.
Yeah, which is an interesting game, gameplay mechanic. I feel like this game definitely deserved its nominations in game direction because it does feel like it's doing things slightly different. But it definitely is like, I think, if I'm thinking back, because I've been thinking about this over the past week, and I want to say, I do, especially since you managed to knock it out relatively rapidly, I do want to go back and actually clear Deathloop myself, especially because there is like an extended ending that's in the game now. And yes, apparently whatever ending you saw, Lucky, is extended.
Huh. I did not know that.
Yeah, no, that's what that's in on Wikipedia when it talks about the Golden Loop update. It says that they extended the ending sequence, so some part of that was longer than it started at launch.
Wow,
which is interesting. But I'll probably finish up Judgment first and then go back. I'm in like chapter 10, so I'm getting closer. Stuff's happening. But I definitely feel like that, like I said, that realization that there is like one perfect solution to the loop is probably when I started to fall out, because I like you like the like the actual going through the loops and investigating stuff and then using that to like be like, oh, now I can go here in the morning to find out this fact. Like, that's cool. The fact that the game requires you to do things in the exact perfect way, and obviously, like I said, since you beat it like a day after you streamed it, it's probably not that hard to set up the loop, but it's still having just the one perfect solution and then you just kind of soldier it out. It's a little lackluster. It feels like it sucks a little of the juice out of it. But I definitely feel like it's one of those things, right, where now that I know that, like I said, you literally finished it like a day after you streamed it, it's like, okay, that means I can definitely catch up. I can, put my knuckle to the grindstone and get in. I said earlier, I've also been very sleepy this week. Chad, I cannot tell you how many times I have just not had a lot of energy, so that I've just, spent time curled up under my covers playing Hades on my Switch. It's happened a lot this week. But yeah, I will definitely have to go back and clear Deathloop myself. It's very interesting. I suspect that it will probably not get a sequel. Just gonna say, probably not. I mean, Arcane is working on Redfall, which is allegedly sometime this year. And I think, I don't know, remember if it was Bethesda or somebody at Xbox. Somebody said that Starfield's supposed to come out in the front half of this year. I'll believe it when I fucking see it, my guys. Like I said, for a game that's supposed to be as big as ambitious as Starfield is, I refuse to believe the game is real until you show me enough footage that makes me believe you've actually developed that much of the game. But we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, any other, besides just like how you kind of felt about like going through the loops, any other observations about Deathloop?
One, combat outside killing the moots is kind of a joke. So like at any point, this is what I realized playing through the game. You're very squishy, but so are your enemies unless you do very specific builds. But it's really fucking easy if you're just trying to get from point A to point B just to say fuck all the enemies and just run past them to your objective. And I feel that shouldn't be necessarily the thing, especially since I liked running Aether and Shift a lot.
Yeah.
Aether turns you invisible and Shift lets you teleport around. It's like at some point I just literally stopped giving a damn about shooting enemies and just like moved from objective to objective, which I kind of think is okay, but also I kind of think it's not. Enemies are supposed to represent some sort of challenge, and shout out to Deathloop for this, for having accessibility options. There's something called loop stress, which is the more visionaries you kill, the harder enemies become. But again, that's because of the way the game is built. the most visionaries you kill is on the very last day. Like, you kill technically 5 of them at that final day. You only kill 3. So the loop stress really never comes into it. So the guys never really get that big, like that crazy. No, not even then, because yeah, the night becomes the hardest one because you've killed 3. Because by the time you fight the 2 on the third part of the day, they're by themselves, and it's really easy just to walk past a few guys in between them. There's like no challenge at all to get to them.
Yeah.
And that's the problem I think I'm having, is that reaching your objective is not hard. Even if I didn't fucking have shift and aether, like just sprinting down them, you know, breaking line of sight and going a little bit, they'll look at your last spot and be like, huh, and go back to whatever their life was doing. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I feel like the game, I mean, shout out to them for making stealth completely viable, basically, but I definitely feel like the stealthy play is always the more rewarding anyway, and this is basically the reverse of the thing we talk about, right, where, actually, I think it plays into topics we've talked about before. Options are cool. Play your way. Really neat if you can actually pull it off. The problem is that a lot of times the stealth element in these games feels like it's forced on you, because if you don't sneak, you have to fight 50 more dudes. Which this also still goes on. But also, like you said, stealth is just so easy. Like, it's not a challenge to be stealthy, and it's better because there are less guys. I guess that means that if you want to do it not challenging-y, you could go not stealth, but you talked about this on stream a little bit. Like you said, you're kind of squishy in this game. Like, there's a couple of builds, there's a couple of slabs you can go for to, like, get a little bit more invincible, get a little more powerhousey. But it's definitely, like, if you get caught out in the open and get riddled full of holes, you die. And, like, the game resets you usually. Like, so you're supposed to learn, hey, let's not do that. It's definitely not, like... It's not like a Doom-style, like, you know, power shooter. You're just gonna, you know, eat 50 bullets and then you're gonna slam down some Monster Energy drinks and be fine, right?
You can get to that point, but it's, you know, you have to be getting very specific power-ups, and you have to be running, like, Havoc or get a...
You have to be choosing to build that way, and then, like, your ultimate form is like, ha ha ha, now I am invincible. You could also just save yourself the stress and just sneak.
Well, this is why I like Aether, because Aether actually has an upgrade that, while it's active, it actually increases your defense, and it doesn't turn off when you get shot. Like, Aether is literally my fucking general purpose power, because it turns you invisible. You can get an upgrade that when you attack, you don't lose it, and you can have an upgrade that increases your defense, and it doesn't turn off when you're attacked either. So
that's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. The only, like, this is gonna come into my next part, is the only problem is your Aether meter does not fucking last at all. No,
it pretty burns through
It burns through pretty quick, and I can understand they want to do that for game balance, but it makes it really hard to use it at any sort of, like, what's what I want to say, good kind of combat flow. Like, a lot of me is, all right, I'm going to go 5, I am going to activate my power, I'm going to go 20 feet, and now I'm going to stop. Let it recharge, go 20 feet, let it recharge. I'm just like...
And the game is usually designed to make that play work, because it's an arcane first-person sneak shooter game. Like, it's by the Prey and Dishonored guys, so you're naturally gonna find those opportunities where you can walk 20 feet.
And I guess this is more maybe like on me and how I like games. But I like, if I have powers, I want to be able to use them. You know, like, even if, like, you start off with, like, not being able to do it, like having upgrades or getting abilities to extend it, like, there's only a couple ways to, like, quickly, like, you can get a trinket to, like, and give yourself, like, 1 more bar. You can get a trinket to, like, increase the regeneration. You can get a trinket to use health instead of energy for it, and you can get a trinket to no, trinkets doesn't do this one. You can get a weapon trinket to let headshots recover energy. But like I said, you only have a limited amount of trinket slots, and here's the thing. Here's something else that irks me. The highest tier of trinkets, the orange trinkets, the legendary trinkets, are combinations of other trinkets of the previous tier trinkets just put in together as one. So instead of running only 4 trinkets, you're technically running 8. Which, you know, I think is really neat, but the problem is the fucking trinket combinations are weird in my opinion. like you would like I would assume like just for randoms I would put the increase my health and increase my health generation trinket on one, or increase my health generation and increase the amount my health generation is increased by, something that goes again. No, instead they'll put you take less damage when surrounded by people and you have increased health generation. I'm like, okay. I mean, technically yes, it makes sense, but I'm like, okay. Or like you increase your energy generation and you can use your health to use it as well. I'm just like, but what about, just increasing my energy overall? Like, it forces you to put certain things here and have maybe abilities you don't want to have. And there, I'm like, I don't like it. I definitely would have preferred a system where I can pick the fucking trinkets I want to fuse together. Stuff like that.
Honestly, what it sounded like to me, it's been a while since I played, but it sounds to me a lot like, and I don't know if this was like a marketing thing or what, but it feels like, because in Prey, you basically go almost the full RPG route, right? Like you go to stations, you spend upgrades, you unlock new skills, which can include, psychic powers and weird bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it sounds to me like they wanted to avoid being that complex again and not give you like proper skill trees and stuff, but limit the amount of powers you have and the amount of trinkets you have. And so like simplify the game state that way so that they could do more interesting things with the loops. But it just results in the game being simpler, and I don't know why you wouldn't just do the full. Like, I don't know, maybe they were trying to chase a little bit of that roguelite, like, you have to reset kind of a thing, but most good roguelikes or roguelite games are RPGs, right? Like, they give you that opportunity to grow your character as you progress, whether that's you progress in a run or you progress between runs in the metagame. Like, for instance, as I said, I've been playing Hades a lot. Like, I'm at a point where with the game where I like basically have to do runs that are not challenging in order to let the game give me more heat meter so I can make runs, because I've like upgraded all my shit and I'm unlocking the final forms of weapons and other stuff. I've got to the point where I've unlocked the cosmetic currency upgrader. There's literally a guy who you can spend ungodly amounts of currency to give you a shiny new title. It does nothing else other than be cosmetic, but I have reached a point in the game where the amount of upgrades I can buy between runs are so expensive or just non-existent anymore. It's like, yeah, I have nothing to do with these essences of darkness. I guess I could reset all my perks and do it again, but I don't want to. Like, I feel comfortable like doing these, hunting for prophecies and shit. Listen, I'm just trying to make enough gems that I can put like, hellish coffee makers in all the corners of the House of Hades and shit. Okay. I have gotten to credits to roll, and all I can do is just do runs and stuff. This is something I actually hope they improve a little on Hades 2, is conversation system. Like, it kind of sucks that for certain characters, you can only advance the story once every run, because you have to reset back to the beginning. And also, sometimes they just don't show up. Like, I'm trying to like get into the post-game story and stuff and talk to spoiler characters. I won't necessarily ruin everything for Lucky, even though I'm sure through pop cultural osmosis he can assume things about how Hades' story works.
I only kind of know, so please do not spoil me. I do plan.
Yeah, I'll hold off. It's a great game. It's real fun for me.
Big fun.
And admittedly, like I said, I did defeat the game by turning on the God mode. And just, but I've gotten to a point where my damage reduction has the maximum you can go to is 80%. I'm currently sitting at, I think, like 59 or 60%. And just, it hasn't gone up in a while, because that's the point where I'm like, okay, I'm good at this game and know what I'm doing, and I'm good at getting upgrades. Some of them are fucky. Fuck the aspect of Guan Yu, that motherfucker. Giving me, like, minus 50% max health. Ugh. It was rough. But, like, yeah, no, like, you can go through the whole game, you clear the final boss, you reset the loop, and again, like, I'm not getting a story or anything for these, because it's the post-credits version. You just get a snarky comment from the narrator. Like, at one point, I got, like, death by serpents, and the narrator was like, Prince Zagreus, having escaped to the surface world, sees a snake. Thinking they're cool because of his friendships, he decides to go and say hi. The snake says hi back with poisonous fangs. And then it's like, no, I've died, blah. Reset. which is very funny. But like that's all you get for it, and then I reset, and then it's like, okay, I need to talk to this character. They're not fucking here. Cool. They're doing something else. Fuck me. I'll do it again, I guess.
Well,
like, and again, like I said, I've been doing a lot of sleepy laying on the ground doing it, but it's still part of the meta context. So to wrap that back around to Deathloop doesn't really have that, right? When you loop, you loop. And obviously you can residuum items and you can, lock them in to get them back, which is like, that's where the metagame comes from. But for the most part, it's just, you got to do it overall. And it's like, I don't know why they went for the simplified aspect. Were they trying to like make a challenging game? Were they trying to focus more on the multiplayer? I don't know.
Like going
maybe
on...
in 5 years we'll get a documentary about it.
But like continuing on this like simple things, like the next thing I want to bitch about is the weapons. Like I think they're trying to go with the idea of less is more here, but I feel like there just wasn't enough guns. Like there's two pistols. Well, no, technically there's three. There's two pistols and a special pistol. There is a fucking automatic pistol, a revolver, and then your fucking weird ass nail gun conversion for silenced weapons. Considering I like stealthing launch, guess which was the only one I fucking used at all, because there was no other fucking reason to use them.
Yeah, it's the nail gun. It's the stealth gun. It's the one gun that's stealth.
The one gun that's stealth. Then they have two different types of shotguns, one machine gun, one rifle. Oh yeah, and a machine pistol. Excuse me. I guess that's technically a pistol. Then they have like 5 unique weapons, I want to say. They have a dual pistols that can turn into a submachine gun, a shotgun that can switch between auto and shot and slug, a sniper rifle, just a fucking sniper rifle, and a laser beam, the Halps. I don't know if there was any more after that. Those are just the ones I fucking found. Like I said, I wasn't too concerned about finding all the fucking guns, because I was realizing there's not a lot of fucking guns. Like, not, like I said, you only get, like, one long arm. Only one. The fucking, I can't remember what it's fucking called off the top of my head, because they all have weird names.
Yeah.
You get one machine gun, one long arm. You get 2 shotguns, which I guess really is all you really need, because one's automatic. But guess what? I was carrying that automatic shotgun everywhere, because when I need to fucking clear a room, just holding down the trigger and seeing bodies going flying is what you fucking doctor ordered, right?
Yeah.
And
sweep them streets.
Yeah, and like the sniper rifle is cool and all, but it's a fucking sniper rifle. The only time I'm going to use it is when things are very far away. And you can
it is. I mean, and admittedly, it's good because of that thing we discussed earlier. It's a legitimate way to dispose of visionaries. Cool.
It's cool, but it's like
I have more weapon slots. Yeah, it's just,
and you only get like you get 3 weapon slots, and I'm just like, okay, can we maybe have had like an actual like combat rifle? Could we have had? Can we have like more silenced weapons? Can we have had?
I think you can only get one melee weapon, right? You've just got your machete.
You just got a machete, and like, don't get me wrong, I fucking love machetes. It's the bushcraft weapon of choice. But
and the stealth kills with the machete are fucking brutal. They're great.
They're great, but couldn't I have gotten like maybe an axe, maybe like a sword, or like?
Can I throw knives at people?
Like no, like.
Basically, what we're getting at here, Chad, is if you haven't played Deathloop, do try it, though. It's free on PS Plus.
It is I want to say, it's not a bad game. It's a good game. I enjoyed the experience overall. Like, trust me, there are games that I have played that I've gotten like 3 hours into this. I'm like, I fucking wasted my life on this. Like Fallout 4 being one of them. I tried.
Well, except you didn't play 3 hours. Fallout 4 is your version of my experience kills in Shadowfall. You played a shitload of Fallout. Showed up on your year recap, and you were like, I wasted those hours. I want those hours back.
Yeah.
Me out here, I'm like, I paid $8 for Killzone Shadowfall. It was too much money. And I believe, I don't remember if I pre-ordered, but I got Deathloop pretty soon after launch, and it's like, for like a full-price next-gen game, I don't know, it feels like a tech demo, basically.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because guess what? Bethesda's not going to get any more PS5 tech demos. They're done. After Ghostwire Tokyo, we're outie. Though I feel like Ghostwire was a lot more of a complete game. Like, I felt like there was room for gameplay expansion there, but it was that actually had like the skill point level up and shit. It felt pretty solid and rounded, right?
Listen, I loved my fucking one-person tour of fucking Tokyo, all right?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, aesthetically, it was great. It was really on point with the themes and the creatures. I do kind of feel like the lore writing was a little weird. Like,
I mean, the
they
story
did
and lore were completely all over the place. But listen, I wasn't playing that game for a story. I just wanted to jump around fucking Tokyo.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing was just they did like that visual novel preamble or whatever. That should have just been in the game. It was. They tried too hard to do the in media res and not fuck around with like dealing with real people in Tokyo shit to like get you to the spooky part, but the setup was really weird. Otherwise, the plot was like, yes, I've watched an anime, correct? I understand how a lot of Japanese storytelling tropes with this stuff works. You're gonna combine the lands of the living and the dead, and whatever. Where have I heard this one before? But like. Deathloop, great character writing. I think there's some decent backstory writing. Like, there's some really interesting audio logs and shit you can pick up.
Yeah, no, it's a fascinating story, and I love figuring it all out, but
the gameplay is a lot more pared down, and it was weird. It was a little weird.
It's a little weird. I do want people to go, if anyone go out there and plays Deathloop, please come back and tell me your thoughts. I want to hear them.
Yeah, drop them in the comments down there, or be on our Discord. We got a games channel. It does stuff.
It does stuff. But that's enough about
right
Deathloop. I do want to get on. I have been playing Final Fantasy XII and Tactics, sometimes simultaneously. I picked up War of the Lions. You can get it on your tablet. That took a little bit of getting used to.
Yell bet.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, free from PSP, hell.
Tactics has reminded me of something that I absolutely hate, though, in video games.
Talk to me.
When enemy level is tied to your character level.
Ah, it's one of those games, huh?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I played a core tactics game. Yeah. Pure level scaling is rough. Yes.
Yeah. No. Like.
And for an RPG, yeah.
An RPG where you have multiple units that all level independently, but enemies are scaled off your highest level character.
Ooh, that's not great.
It's not great. It's not great at all.
Honestly, I'm gonna be real. That's probably why like Tactics Advance and A2 don't do that. I'm pretty sure those have fixed difficulty, like average levels your characters should be at. So, they don't. Yes, this means that sometimes you do main story content and you're grossly overleveled, but it also means that like you can actually find baby tier quests to train your baby tier units on.
Yeah, no, like that. I don't have that, and it's a problem. Like I actually have to go look this up because. I'm like the main story quests that you do, they're at a certain level. I'm like twice that level because guess what? I just enjoy tactics games. I enjoy getting job points and leveling up stuff. But my fucking Ramza is level 26, and I think like I have a level fucking what level is she? Like 6 Squire. I'm trying to level up. I am not going to send my level 6 Squire up against a level fucking 26 mob who probably has fucking counter because all enemy monsters have counter for some ungodly reason to slap him.
Tactics, everybody.
Just to slap him. No, do you know how...
Can this character learn can this character learn counterattack? No. Do they have it? Yes.
But do you know how like I had to go online? It's like, how do I level up? Do you know what you have to do? You have to take your low level character, unequip their shit, and just have them punch your main character in the back of the fucking head constantly for experience. That's how you level up low-level characters. I'm just like, this is fucking ridiculous, y'all.
They get EXP? Wow.
Yes, they get...
Listen, the game came out on the PS1. They did fix some things for War of the Lions, but it was mostly a remaster.
No, your character gets XP and job points for succeeding at an action. And if so, as long as your attack succeeds, you get experience and job points.
Where's my, there's a lot of untapped potential in Final Fantasy. I know Square is very weird about, like, what they expect their games to be like a lot of the time. They talk back and forth about, like, underperformed this, could have done better that. I'm not sure they're not just negging all of us. But, like, I feel like there's definitely room for a proper Final Fantasy Tactics branded game to come out. And it's kind of a shame that like we don't get more tie-ins for stuff because like 14's a really big long running game with a lot of lore in the backstory and stuff. Why are there no 14 spin-off games? There were like 5 different games for Final Fantasy VII.
I was actually thinking about this. It's find it weird because Ivalice is one of is a very common setting.
Yeah,
like
The Ivalice Project, which is basically what they called it when 12 was coming out, that's when they decided to do War of the Lions.
Mhm.
That's when FFTA 2 came out. You know, Revenant Wings. There was a sequel to Final Fantasy 12 on the DS, which was an RTS, by the way. It was a little weird, a little bit of a weird game. You know, they put a lot of effort into bringing that stuff around, and then I assume it sold decently, and then they just kind of stopped. If I had to guess, it's probably because, well, even then, I can't argue that 13 didn't do well because they decided to put more money into to make 3 fucking 13 games. It's weird, y'all. Like,
anyway, and like I said, and there's like a whole there's a bunch of Ivalice references in 14. There's actually Rabanaster and stuff are actually in 14. They're just lands conquered by the Garleans. So it's like,
and I assume that's because we've talked about this before, but 14 has a lot of the same art team as 12.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the same art direction and some of the artists. But I've noticed lots of little things. I just noticed this the other day. That like it was while we were in the. Actually, I should tell you this story. It's funny because you went to bed after this. But so I talked about this at the end of the 14 stream. You should go watch it. The stream is cool. And despite all of our other streams doing well, that one did not do super good. So you should go watch that one. I even turned it into a Fishman joke after I figured out what was actually in the stream. I do that a lot for 14. I change the title after the stream is over because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing every day. But Thursday, we did actually get together as off camera, and the guys helped me unlock and run through a lot of dungeons to give me more tombstones, more phones. But lucky, after we did a couple of those, you left. And then Aloth took over, and we did actually end up doing some daily roulettes.
oh, good.
So we did do a dungeon roulette. We immediately went back into the Pharos. But while we were doing that run, it went a lot better the second time after we knew what the fuck we were doing.
That's how it be.
Shocking, I know. But I noticed that when you go like up the stairs, the way that the game does a map transition is it uses the same little blue dotted line that 12 does.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I just hadn't really grokked that before, but I was like, oh yeah, they really do that same similarity. Obviously, the fact that the dungeon is called, you know, Pharos of blah, blah, blah. The Pharos is one of the very late game areas in 12. You know, shit like that. There's a lot of similarity. Obviously, a lot of the Garlean armor is very 12 inspired, you know. And that even goes back to some of the armor designs that are in, like, Tactics and Tactics Advanced, too.
Yeah.
Like, there's a long-running through line of the Ivalice stuff that's really out there that I feel like 14 also definitely leads into, and I'm just like, it's kind of curious where they decide to do all their like sequels and side games and stuff.
Yeah.
I assume Kingdom Hearts has so many sequels and side games just because, like, Nomura just digs out another sheaf of notes from under his desk every time somebody asks him to make another Kingdom Hearts, right? Like, I feel like he's the kind of guy who's just constantly doing new character designs and coming up with new story bullshit. But we don't really do that with other games, like, you know, I mean, obviously 14 has ongoing content in the form of the X packs to give you new story.
14 is the
Final
MMO.
Fantasy 14, that's the MMO one. You can like, I'm all through the 2.0, the original drop of the game, A Realm Reborn. I got credits to roll on that, so y'all should check that out. Like I said, been playing through. There's also a very funny thing happened after you left, Lucky. We went, like, we did some of the dailies and stuff, and at one point, Loth was like, okay, so we could do story daily, but that'll be like 30 minutes, and we were all like, no, we're all too tired. We don't want to do that. We'll do that later.
That's how it be sometimes.
Yeah. But it's really interesting to see all this stuff. But so Tactics has some rough edges. It is a game that's like 20 years old. What about 12? You've been playing it.
I've been playing it. I've been playing the Zodiac Age version. Yeah, like I said,
which is free on PS Plus as well, extra.
Yeah, that's why I picked it up. And again, like, playing it, like, this is the weird thing. I never beat 12. I think I've told this before. I've gotten a distance in 12. I'm not entirely sure how far it is. People who have played it could tell me. Like I said, I got to the Demon Wall boss and I died and I stopped. I don't remember why I stopped, but I stopped.
That's really not that far, actually.
Yeah. And so I was like, I like me the Final Fantasies. I do like the systems in 12. I'll go back and I'll play it. And like I said, like I love the Gambit system. I like LP and stuff. I think my main thing right now is I'm having a bit of issue with character choices. Like the one that sticks out to me is, why do we have so many humans in this fucking party in this fucking cosmopolitan fucking game? Like,
it is a little weird. I don't know. Was it? Because I'll say this. It's not because of like gear or anything. The only thing that changes is your weapon models.
Yeah.
Armor models are not shown. Everybody has the same basic costume.
We have the Vieira, which we have one black female Vieira. If she feels like, I love Fran. I love Fran to death. She's amazing. She's such a fucking token character here. Because then we have White Boy. We have I'm gonna say White Boy. They look white to me, but they're desert fucking Mediterranean people, so take whatever flavor, but they look fucking white.
It's a game that was made by Japan for the PS2. With figuring out what ethnicity characters are supposed to be is hard sometimes.
So we have White Boy Vine, we have White Girl Penelo, we have White Boy Balthier, we have White Boy Bosch, we have White Girl fucking Ash, and then we have Black Girl Bunny-Eared Fran. I'm just like, what is this? We're in a world where we have Mughals, we have Bonga, we have Sikh, we have these lion-ass fuckers, I don't know what the fuck they name of. We have Aura, we have, not Aura,
No, that was later.
That was later. We have, Mughals.
Yeah.
And it's like, none of that's part of your party. I find that really fucking weird.
I assume for instance, I don't think there are any, extra, Mughal NPCs, for instance. Like, I know you have friendly Mughals, I assume that was probably, again, the game was made on the PS2. It came out like 05. That was probably a tech limitation.
Maybe.
Because Mughals are very small. It would be very weird.
Very small.
There are enemies and allied NPCs who are Bonga and Sikh, so they have animation sets for them. I don't know if it's just because, like, for Sikh, they're all pink people. They're kind of weird, I mean, obviously, some of that turned out how I designed some of the stuff for Gensakai, with Pork, the Sikh were always very interesting to me, and I'm very glad they got added to FFTA 2 as playable races. But I don't know if they didn't want to like go through all the characterization of whatever would happen there. There are major Bonga NPCs, Balthier's got those enemies, one of whom, Begamnon is the name of that guy. He has a sister, so there's a lady Bonga in this.
Yeah.
And you can only tell because she has a couple of voice lines.
Yes.
I don't know. It's really interesting. They kind of keep that same thing in the sequel as well. In Revenant Wings, you do find a winged boy who helps you out. But mostly the rest of the cast is just it's all of Vaughn's little friends from the streets of Rabanastre. It's like Kite and Philo and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. A lot of people talk about this, about the ensemble cast. 12 is a very interesting casting thing going on. I like to play the game. Who's the protagonist?
This is the other thing about here. I'm playing Vaughn right now. Like I said, I'm really into this, but I feel like Vaughn really has almost no stakes in this whatever fucking game is about to fucking happen right now.
They do stick a little bit more on him. For instance, I really think that where are you at actually in the game?
I just got out of the mines after fucking the Bongas kidnapped Penelo.
Okay, yeah. Very early, the Nalbana mines. You're getting close to the point where the game kind of starts to get a little more opened up and you can do what you like. But yeah, you've met Ash though. So,
yes. I have met, like I said, this is my second playthrough. I know Ash, I know who she is. And that's why I'm saying, I feel like Balthier and Fran have a definite through line on the story. Bosch and Ash also have a definite through line on this story. Vaughn and Penelo feel like they're on the fucking, just along for the fucking ride because they forgot to get off at the last stop.
I mean, that is definitely, absolutely Penelo's character arc. I feel bad for her, and I like her a lot more in later games. She is, Vaughn and Penelo are both recruitable units in FFTA 2.
Oh, neat.
And it's actual, post-game Vaughn. He finally gets to do his dream of being a sky pirate.
Yeah.
So he gets to bust out his Balthier cosplay.
But also, yes, Balthier, I love Balthier. I love Balthier. His opening line is like, "Who are you?" It's like, "I'm the leading man." I'm all like, "Yeah!"
And I believe his name is Gideon Emery, same as edgy elf boy from DA2. He has great delivery in this.
Oh god, no, this is the thing that's fucking killing me. I keep flip-flopping between the English and Japanese voice tracks because I definitely like Balthier's English VA better than the Japanese VA because in Japanese he doesn't necessarily have that cultured tone. He speaks more like a thug. It's actually funny. Fran actually speaks more like a fucking mature woman than the kind of, what I want to say, outsider.
She has the token foreign person type. Keep in mind, I believe her voice actress's accent is like Icelandic in the English track, so like it's not that weird, but she's meant to come across as slightly foreign, you know. Balthier speaks very refinedly. Bosch in English speaks very like a little archaic, you know.
Like I said, I like Bosch and Ash's Japanese VA because Ash speaks very highbrow lady and makes it like so noticeable. And
her English VA tries to bring a little of that, but mostly it's just the like she's doing almost the like excuse me princess kind of voice.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is, and I take no bones with Vaughn's voice actor about this. He is actually like younger. He's like in his teens, and he is being directed to speak this way. Like,
honestly, like I think both Vaughn's English and Japanese sound like a fucking brat, and I'm like, but also I'm all like Vaughn, he's a fucking brat.
Yeah, no, it's intentional. It does unfortunately come across as a little wooden, but there's some memes out there.
Yeah,
you haven't even got. If you've just cleared Nalbana dungeons, does that mean that we?
Yes. I've gone through the streets screaming, "I am Captain Bosch."
Yes. I'm Bosch von Ronsenberg of Dalmasca. Ah, it's so memey.
Yes.
But yeah, no, like, it's really interesting in cases the language, like, and where accents lie. But what I was gonna say was, don't listen to Ondor's lies. I won't go so far as to argue all of the player characters are the protagonists, because it's just not true. Penelo and Fran, they're not protagonists. I'm sorry. They're sidekicks. They know what's up. Fran at least knows what up. But for different arcs and areas of the story, you will find that at different points, the primary focal point character ping-pongs a lot between Vaughn, Ash, Bosch, and Balthier. Like, all of them have their moments. Balthier obviously talks, he talks up, I'm the leading man. And he makes a lot of actions that are leading man-esque.
Like,
but also, go ahead.
Well, like, literally, like, Balthier, like 15 minutes after meeting Vaughn, basically adopts this fucking poor orphan boy. And, like, takes him along, like...
Listen, Vaughn says he wants to be a sky pirate.
And like,
does Vaughn actually want to be a sky pirate? I don't fucking know.
Vaughn just wants to do the thing that'll get him the most amount of money without making the most effort. Listen, this boy thought it'd be a great idea to sneak into the palace on the day of like the most intense fucking security there'd ever be, and thought it was a great idea. And no one wanted to stop him for some odd reason. It's
because he is no. I'm sure Miguelo would have told him to not do it,
and he would have done it anyway.
Because he is a broke-ass, literal street child war orphan in an occupied city.
He's gonna go get back what was taken from the palace. But boy, let me tell you, even if it was still still Damascus, it still wouldn't be fucking yours, kid.
Well, and that's the reaction with Ash, who's the princess of the allegedly dead, long-lost princess of Damascus.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Vaughn is the audience surrogate. Vaughn is a scrappy character who has basic bitch, adventurer motivations. He's gonna steal food, eat money.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna say get bitches, because like he's not really motivated in that department. I assume there's something going on with him and Penelo, but we don't really get into it.
I don't know. They have some sort of sisterly, like some family vibes kind of there.
Well, hold on. Let me show you Penelo's character design in FFTA2, which I think is also her design in Revenant Wings. So let me post it in mod channel. And this is a couple years later. So this is how she's dressed hanging out with Vaughn as a sky pirate. So, like, they just pal around this way.
Oh, she got very cute. Listen, I know it's PS2, but I look at the fucking 12 models and I kind of cringe every time. Just like, ugh.
They're very rough. It was a transitional period. We weren't quite HD, but we left the sprite era. But also we're post, like the FF7, blocky polygons.
Mm-hmm.
The unannounced remake is probably 9, and I love Zodiac Age to death. There's so much quality of life they did in it. There's the challenge mode boss rush you can do, which even gets you like extra shit in your main save. The way the job system works is better. So in the original game, the original 12, there was no job system. Everybody had literally the exact same license board.
Yeah, they just started at different points.
Yes. Which meant that other than everyone has different stat, like, caps and stat growths. This meant that generally your characters looked very similar. Like, obviously you would probably, like, go a certain way with certain weapons with them, but you would buy... There was literally no reason not to buy every single fucking magic license for every character, right? Just in case.
Mm-hmm.
You often bought a lot of the same armor and accessory licenses. So what Square used to do was there used to be longer delays on international releases, guys, if you guys don't remember, or if you're too young to remember. So a game would come out in Japan, and then like 6 to 8 months later or more, it would come out in like US EU, because you have to translate and do all the languages and shit. Usually that version would have bug fixes or tweaks or stuff, right?
Right.
They would catch something that was a bug in the Japanese version. They would fix it on the new disc, et cetera, et cetera. And then they would re-release the game in Japan after it came out internationally with all the quality of life updates and sometimes even more. This is the Kingdom Hearts final mixes of the world, right?
Right.
Those versions usually would not come back to the States or EU until we got into the re-releasing. I guess it was just too expensive to, print the discs again. So what was marketed as FF12 International Edition, even though it was only released in Japan, I know, it's funny, that had those 12 jobs that you can pick in Zodiac Age, and you could pick one job board. That meant that 6 of the jobs you'd never see. Literally can't be those 6 classes. So Zodiac Age fixes this by letting you pick 2 boards, so you've got more flexibility and stuff, lots of different options out there. But yeah, it's still, I love it to death. I would not mind a 7 remake style, like, full-bodied, like, update to this game, because Zodiac Age is just 12 but HD, like, graphically. They didn't really do anything on that part. But yeah, anyway. So characterization-wise, Vaughn is supposed to be your viewpoint character. He's very easy to understand, even if you understand that he is dumb. He is on his way to being a himbo, right?
Yes.
I mean, you can definitely see his abs in the HD version. So, like, the kid lifts, okay? I don't know what he does other than runs around. Like, it's the stairs in the sewer. That's probably it. He just sprints up and down those stairs all day. But, like, that's another thing. When you get introduced to Vaughn after the very political and dramatic prologue, right? Like, the intro to 12 is real highbrow. There's fucking war. There's fucking pre-generated Square Enix cutscenes from the 2000s. You know it was pretty. Like, there's fucking betrayal and murder, and then it's like, okay, you're Vaughn now. You're killing rats in the sewers. So Vaughn is meant to be your intro character. He doesn't know jack or shit about this world, so he is free to go, Balthier, what's an empire? What's a Viera? What's a mist? What's a Nethicite? And then Balthier goes, yes, Nethicite, you say, Anyway, I'm the leading man. I'm going to go, run my fingers through my hair. Look at all my rings. Yes.
Look at me adjust my sleeves like a proper gentleman.
It's because they're so poofy. How do I shoot people with this? I don't know. Shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so he's a good character for that. Him being usually your controllable character in non-combat areas gets a little weird as we get deeper to the game, and it feels like you said, Lucky, he is less involved with what is going on. Like I said, obviously you've met Bosch in the game now and like seen him, so you can see that there's like a line here, like we've got a direction, we're going places, but that will eventually peter out. And once you get to the towards the end of the game, it kind of picks back up like, he's got some great foil stuff going on with Ash as a character. But yes, Loth is right. For a lot of the game, he's the mascot. Balthier has a mysterious backstory, that we'll get into when we get into the later parts of the game. And, like, he has a lot of stuff tied up in this that becomes clear later. He's got a lot of investment in this plot, actually.
And that's the thing. Like, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
But yeah, no, I can feel like, like everyone needs their, like, everyone, like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna, what's the word I want to say? Slight Fran by saying she's not, like, an important character because, a leading man needs a leading lady. And that's what Fran is to Balthier. Like, she is, makes up in, like, ways that he lacks. They complete a set. So, those two together, yes, they definitely, like, from the outset, they are about something. Same with, like, Bosch and Ash. They are about something. And you don't necessarily need to see... You don't need the game to explain to necessarily understand what they're about. Like, Bosch fucking betrayed and, betrayed. Imprisoned, He's out to find answers and maybe get revenge. Fucking, Balthier and Fran are up, like, trying to find this very specific stone for a reason. But apparently, it might be a very important fucking reason. I don't need anyone to explain that. Ash, I mean, if you're paying attention to the fucking cutscene, it should come to no fucking surprise who this girl is.
Yeah, no, like I said, I talked about it earlier. She is the deposed princess of Dalmasca, which is occupied by an imperial force. Yeah, no, she's got something going on. Also, again, like you said in the cutscenes, I don't know, her fucking husband was killed and her dad was killed. Like she, under normal circumstances, Ash would straight up, like, if this was an older Final Fantasy, Ash would straight up just be the protagonist, right?
Yeah.
Like, she would be the viewpoint character for the prologue, and then there would be a little ... time skip 2 years later, But I guess they wanted to, like... Well, I will say this. The world of 12, even for PS2 times, it's pretty big. It's a big fucking world. There are a lot of zones and cool areas to get into, and there's a decent number of mechanics you gotta get used to and stuff. And there's a lot of gameplay in the game that doesn't really work for characters who aren't like Vaughn or maybe Balthier. Like, I don't really see Ash going through the streets of Ravenastre and, like, knocking down the door to Clan Centurio and, like, getting induced to Mont Blanc, right?
Yeah, but, I can see Bosch doing it.
Probably. But Bosch is in jail, so we gotta, like, hook him out. Like, I feel like Vaughn, like I said, he's set up so that you can get introduced to this world and learn a lot of stuff that other characters, like, you can argue, okay, Bosch probably has to get used to fighting again after being, in prison for a little bit. But he's a knight, he's an experienced soldier. He should kind of know what he's doing. Vaughn serves as kind of a tutorial vessel. Like I said, there's some interesting choices. If you go all the way in this game, I'd love to talk about some of this stuff with you.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't go over my head. Because from what I understand, 12 is very much the game about politics and whatnot.
Yes.
Politics.
Honestly, like I said, I feel like I feel like you can see the through, like, you'll probably comment on this as you play it more. You can see the through line structurally, how we got from 12 to, say, 14, right?
Right.
Like, 14 also has a lot of this heavy-handed political drama. There's a lot more magical stuff involved in 14. You will see some of that become clear as we go through 12.
I'm pretty sure, like I said, I know Aetherite is some shit.
Yeah. And you got as far as, the tomb of the Dynast King Wraithwall. That's where the demon wall is. So, like, you knew that there was some big boy shit you got to figure out.
Yeah.
So, like, there's some very high-handed stuff in there, in addition to all the, political actions as well. It's a game that's got a lot of depth, but it's very easy to read. Like, a lot of people compare it openly to Star Wars. Oh, yeah, no, I've clocked hundreds of hours in this game. It's a game that I think at one point I talked about possibly streaming. Probably not, actually. I've been thinking about it. JRPGs are cool, but takes a lot of time, and there's a lot of side content to do.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing through the main story before that I never finished. Maybe I should wrap up that save file. I don't know. I really like 12. I've liked it for years. I've never complained about how it's laid out because the gameplay is really cool. And honestly, having played it and 14 now, I know 14 obviously learned a lot from some stuff, but 12 really doesn't actually play like an MMO actually, right?
The 10th trial
Like,
boss. I'll keep that in mind.
there's no cooldowns and stuff, and there's no like action queue. Like in 12, you have the auto attack, which is on a timer when you enter the attack command, or you try to do like magic or a special skill, and then it just goes when the timer fills up. It's when you combine it with Gamut, it's almost like tacticals. Yep. Greg is in the game.
Greg.
Great couple of fights.
But I think that's all I have to say about 12. I'm still very in, and like I said, I just talked about the couple things that are very glaring to me, being A, the character spread, and B, the character involvement.
Yes,
Everything else.
And this, I think, is the things that like everybody notices about their first couple of hours of FF12.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down here. What's going on with all these characters, guys?
Yeah. So I don't want us to take too much longer. We are almost crossing the 3-hour mark.
Yeah, I'm also, we want to play Barotrauma, and also I'm hungry. I need a snack.
Yeah, so I think we should start winding down about here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Like, we mentioned already that we did do some off-screen stuff with 14. That was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
That'll probably keep being in our rotation of times we play games with peoples and stuff about stuff. I'm working towards wrapping up Judgment. Like I said, I'm in chapter 10 now, having a lot of fun. But I've been very sleepy lately, so I haven't been going super ham on it.
Did you get to the part where he asks the guy to let him defend him again?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, never mind. You might not.
Yeah, we're in chapter 10. We're at the point where
I at the end of chapter 10. Okay, never mind. I said nothing.
Yeah, I can kind of assume that's where we're going. Like, there's lots of heartfelt stuff going on as we uncover truths and accuse people. I have done a segment where I'm in a hospital, repeatedly sprinting after a guy, so I can shove him into a room and say mean things to him. I will say the gameplay to story ratio in Judgment is sometimes very funny, where your only gameplay is punching people, and then, well, not only, but like your core gameplay loop is punching people and like running around, and then you've got the intermix with like chases and pursuits. So it's like the game can really only do so much, and it's just fucking hilarious when like one of these a fucking doctor is like, "Hey, you need to leave," and Yagami's like, "I'm not leaving," and then loading screen, and then it's like doctors.
You just have 8 doctors in lab coats just coming at you,
who just fucking assume their kung fu stances, and I'm like, "Oh, guys, you have chosen poorly." No, like, yeah, is great. I'm having fun. The last thing that happened was we may have seen Captain Hanamura again, and he may have been armed with a gun that he pointed at some guys I like.
Oh no!
And now I gotta go kick his ass.
Yeah, you do.
Which is what I said when I saw him when he pulled the gun on me and Kaito. He's like, "Oh, buddy, you better not miss. I'm gonna kick your ass this time." I've had it up to here with you. We're in chapter 10. I don't need your shit anymore. But yes, I'm going to working on wrapping that up. I think that the only thing I want to bring up real quick to talk about is I want to at least mention some stuff from the DICE Awards got announced, their nominees. The Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences, which is a non-profit group to further video games, runs the DICE Awards. I have announced some stuff. God of War Ragnarok has 12 nominations, so they're, as usual, picking up a lot. But there are a couple of good ones. Let's see. Anything really crazy? I mean, they've got... I just want to say, I like how they phrase a lot of their awards. Like, they have Outstanding Achievement Awards. They still have, like, Genre Game of the Year, but as opposed to, like, Best Game Direction, they're like, which one of these was the most outstanding? Which one of these stood out the most to us? It's pretty nice. So, like, they've got Outstanding Achievement and Animation. Nominees are Cuphead, the DLC, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Moss Book 2. All of those, I think, were very pretty and very well animated. Outstanding achievements in art direction, you've got Modern Warfare 2, Ragnarok, Forbidden West, Stray, and Callisto Protocol. Callisto Protocol definitely had a art direction for sure. It had a style. Outstanding achievements in character, you've got Alejandro Vargas from COD Modern Warfare 2. Haven't played that game yet, so I don't know anything about that. Ragnarok's on here twice for both Atreus and Kratos. You've also got Aloy from Horizon Forbidden West and Garbage 3 from Return to Monkey Island. Outstanding achievements in original music composition. You've got Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Metal Hellsinger, and Moss Book 2. Hopefully Requiem wins that one. It's really got a really good sound. Audio design, Requiem, Modern Warfare 2, Ragnarok, Gotham Knights, and Somerville. Very interesting. Story, this is the one I pointed out to you. Trending achievement story nominees are Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, Immortality, and Norco. So, like, very solid indie stories being picked up there. I like that. Outstanding technical achievements, Plague Tale Requiem. I assume that's for all the rat technology. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Teardown. That's that voxel game you tear stuff down. And then the rest are Game of the Years. They've got Action Game of the Year nominees. You see Bayonetta 3, Grounded, Neon White, Sifu, and Vampire Survivors. Adventure Game of the Year, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Norco, Stray, and Tunic. Family Game of the Year, Disney Dreamlight Valley, Kirby's Dream Buffet, Lost in Play, Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope, and Trombone Champ. Got a nominee. They found 5 games for Fighting Game of the Year. They're all fighting games. It's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, Multiversus, Rumbleverse, Spider Heck, and King of Fighters 15. They only had 3 racing games, so it's just F1, Gran Turismo, and Need for Speed Unbound. Also, you also brought this up as well. I didn't point it out, but Role-Playing Game of the Year nominees are Citizen Sleep, Elden Ring, Weird West, World of Warcraft, Dragonflight, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. There's some Sports Game of the Year, but you don't care. Strategy Simulation Game of the Year includes Dwarf Fortress. It released officially, so it counts. Ixion, Marvel's Midnight Suns, Potion Craft, Alchemist Simulator. Seen that game a few places. Might pick that one up myself. And Warhammer 40k, Chaos Gate, Demon Hunters. They've got Immersive Game of the Year, which I'm not really sure what that is about. Outstanding Achievements for Independent Games. They nominated Immortality, Neon White, Immortality and Neon White. TMNT Shredder's Revenge. That's weird, but I guess that was only published by Konami. Tunic and Vampire Survivors. Mobile Game of the Year is Diablo Immortal, Gibbon Beyond the Trees, Immortality, Marvel Snap, and Point P. It's a little weak. This is another fun one that you were a little bamboozled by. For Online Game of the Year, we have Modern Warfare 2, FIFA 23, Endwalker, Marvel Snap, and Rumbleverse. And I assume Endwalker is on here because, like I said, they take into account up to December. That's where the VGAs cut off. And Endwalker is only like 13 months old.
It is, but the thing that also bugs me about it is they say online game. Like, I feel like there should be a different, like a divider between standard online games and like MMOs.
Yeah, or like it's like the ongoing game thing because like, okay, Marvel Snap, that's an always online. That's going to be an ongoing service game, just like Endwalker is. I don't think FIFA 23 and Modern Warfare 2 are like
no.
Like it's very weird. But hey, Endwalker got a nom. That's cool.
That's cool. I do want him to have more nominations.
Outstanding achievements in game design. This one seems very generalized, but they've got Elden Ring, Ragnarok, Marvel Snap, Tunic, Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors got a lot more nominees at the awards. If you were worried about that one. Outstanding achievement in game direction is Elden Ring, Ragnarok, Forbidden West, Immortality, Tunic. They really like Tunic at the Game Awards, or the DICE Awards. And then Game of the Year nominees are Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Vampire Survivors, and once again, Stray. That's right, Cat Game also got another Game of the Year nomination. Suck it, Blues. But yeah, they'll announce them February 23. So you've got about a month. And this is all panelists. It's all just the AIAS. So it's cool. But I appreciate, that they seem to have a different vibe and some different award categories there. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And we'll see how that shakes out. Good to see more nominations for smaller games we liked and some other stuff. And like I said, I haven't played Vampire Survivors. I'm not super interested in it, but a lot of people were playing it and streaming it, so it's good that it got more recognition.
Yeah. Also, real quick, it has come out that Crunchyroll Awards are coming out. They haven't released it yet, but they have their website out and talking about they will be doing revealing their nominations here in like 4 days. So we can probably
they got a countdown if you want to keep track of it.
Yeah, so we'll probably be talking about that next week.
Yes, we always like to yell at the anime awards. Oh shoot, that's right. I was too tired to watch the last episode of this core of Witch from Mercury yet. I need to get around
Jesus.
To that. from the internet pop culture, I understand the general vibes of what's going on, but I need to actually sit down and watch the episode. But I was like, I'm too sleepy for this.
Lucky has regrets about certain comments he made.
Yeah, you do. But yeah, we've crossed the 3-hour mark on the stream, so we'll go ahead and wrap up here. Like I said, I'm a little hungry. I need a little night snack, and then we can really jam some Barrow Trauma in. I'll snap on that in with audio. If you want some more content from us, I know, like I said, we kind of compacted an extra what's up here into the like last hour-ish here, but you know, we like to do that. First of all, like I said, I've been doing a stream series where I stream me playing the main story and also some other stuff of Final Fantasy XIV. We are through A Realm Reborn, and we're into the Bridge Quest, so go ahead and check out that whole series there if you want plenty of content from us. That's usually me plus Lucky plus a number of the lads in the Crow Mafia. Also check out our Monday stream. Like I said, Lucky wasn't there for this, but it's still a very interesting stream, and you should go watch the God of War one. What we're working on right now. And also check out the AP. I remembered to post it yesterday, so it's out there. Go check it out. It was a fun time. Yeah, that's all I got for now. So, I guess that means it's time to do the outro. If you are liking this episode, be sure to give it a like if you're on the YouTubes. Leave us any comments you have about anything going on there at the bottom. Give us your what day do you guess that Lost Belt 7 Part 2 will come out? Drop it in the comments. It's good for the algorithm. It's good for us. And we do read those, so, you know, it's not like you're shouting in the void. If you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. You know, get those sub numbers up. You can also ring that bell for notifications, so you always know when we're posting a new video or when we're streaming at a weird time. You know, when things get all topsy-turvy. There's a link to join our Discord in the video description as well. Go check that out, our Discord. It's cool. Anybody can join. You can yell about all kinds of things there. And also, you can join our channel memberships. Click the join button or the link below. Get access to membership badges and emotes you see displayed lovingly on the side there. And those membership badges and emotes are visible both in the live chat on our channel, but also in comments and on the community page, so you can spice up your mailbag as well. And, of course, like I said at the front of the show, do consider supporting us on Patreon. If you, you know, want to get access to certain stuff and just help us out, it's a really good way. You can get access to the audio downloads for Let's Talk FGO and What's Up and our APs for as little as $1 a month or approximately $10 a year, because you get a slight discount on annual Patreon memberships. At higher levels, you can vote in topic polls and stuff. It's not over yet. We got a few days left, but Fanservant Friday, Pecos Bill still leading. That is a 5 and up poll option, along with some other stuff. And I've also been floating an idea of doing like a bonus stream once a month that is voted on by patrons as well. I may actually like do a non-Patreon pilot version of that later this month. We'll see. You'll probably see shit like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, Hades, maybe some other shit on there. You know, just some stuff to kill some time. I was watching somebody go back and play through the campaign of Titanfall 2 again. I was like, damn, it's a good campaign. Titanfall is great. But yeah, so supporting us on Patreon, you can get lots of extra perks and stuff, and it's just a really great way to support us that is not as turbulent and chaotic as YouTube sometimes is. So consider it sometime. That's all you got from me. Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. I know we dropped off to about half there by the end, but you know, thanks so much for all of you for tuning in for no matter how long you did. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch stuff live. I know that can be tricky sometimes, depending on what you're doing in your day. And, you know, I had a blast, as always, and we'll be seeing you guys next week, I guess, for more Let's Talk FGO.
See you next time, everyone.
My stomach growled.